Chapter 51. When preparing to return to Baizai Mountain, Sun Weiyuan noticed a lifeless flying insect. He grabbed it without thinking and looked at it several times. He found that the flying insect was a bionic mechanical flying insect. Interesting, has Dr. Gallo started studying the monster cell? That means he has completed number 17 and number 18. I wonder if he would dare to show up after seeing the battle between Goku and I. Sun Weiyuan thought to himself, the trouble of Dr. Gallo should be solved as soon as possible, his threat is too great. Dr. Gallo is a scientific madman and also a very cautious person. 17 years passed from the destruction of the Red Ribbon Army to his transformation into android number 20. Son Goku's martial arts moves, strength growth, etc. were investigated in great detail. The only fatal mistake was that Namex battle was not monitored. He misjudged the strength of Son Goku and his group, which led to the complete collapse of his plan. He had to take the risk of activating Android 17 and 18. He has now discovered the powerful strength of himself and Goku. Judging from Dr. Gero's personality, he will probably choose to patiently cultivate Cell, then devour Android 17 and 18, and evolve into a complete Cell before coming out to cause trouble. In an underground research base in the northern glacier, a white-haired, haggard old man was watching the images sent back by the mechanical flying insects he had sent out to investigate and collect the cells of powerful martial artists. Damn it, is Son Goku already that powerful? Why can he turn into a golden-haired state? He's too strong. And his big brother Son Goiwan, I didn't expect him to be so much stronger than Son Goku. This old man was Dr. Gallo. He stared at the hibernation chambers number 17 and 18 for a long time, then stopped at the hibernation chamber number 16. He hesitated for a long time before putting away the remote control in his hand. Sun Weiyuan and Son Goku returned to Baizai Mountain and saw the two people coming back. Everyone surrounded them, and two beautiful figures threw themselves into their arms. Goiwan, you're not hurt, are you? Bulma asked, looking into Goiwan's eyes. Goiwan shook his head. He had several cans of senzu beans on him, and his combat power was more than twice that of Goku. This question should be asked to Goku. Goku, are you okay? Hearing Shishi's question, Goku smiled and scratched the back of his head. Shishi checked Goku's body up and down, front and back. Shishi, we're fine, big brother, give me. Goku didn't even finish his words. Sun Weiyuan spoke to his grandfather first and said loudly, don't worry, I always act with discretion. Grandpa, look at how good Goku's mental state is. Does he look depressed because of a serious injury? He is a very energetic boy. Son Gohan stroked his white mustache and said with a smile, Goiwan, you are a very smart child. You have always taken good care of Goku. Grandpa is quite relieved when you do things. We are in trouble right now. Sun Weiyuan said with a serious face, as if facing a formidable enemy. Weiyuan, what trouble are you guys in? Krillin and others asked nervously. Even Sun Weiyuan, who is so powerful, is talking about trouble. Could it be that an enemy stronger than him is going to appear? What a terrifying enemy that must be. Krillin and the other Earth warriors were all nervous. Old Son Gohan also asked, is the situation serious? Sun Weiyuan nodded seriously, pointed at the dilapidated villa and said seriously, Grandpa, our nest is gone, it seems that the time for your great-grandson to be born will have to be postponed. Krillin was so worried that everyone almost fell down. Old Son Gohan said with a smile, Goiwan, you are being naughty again, but this is indeed a problem. Alas! You don't know the connection and just think it's a small matter. The speed at which the nephew is born determines the speed at which Goku will transform into a Super Saiyan God in the future. Son Goiwan already has a feasible plan, urging Goku to have 5 nephews and nieces within 5 years. It shouldn't be difficult, 1 per year will be enough. If there are twins, it can be completed earlier. Besides, Goku is a Saiyan now, so it will be much easier for his nephews and nieces to become Super Saiyan. Wouldn't 5 be too few? A few more would be safer. Yes, that's it. Bulma stepped forward and said generously, leave the villa to me. I'll ask my company's employees to deliver a few universal capsules containing villas. Weiyuan, how many do you want? Wouldn't it be a bad idea to just accept Bulma's several big villas? Besides, there are a group of people watching. If he just accepted them, he would be suspected of being a gigolo. He is not the kind of person who likes to be a gigolo. So, he said calmly, Bulma, you can handle these small matters. Besides, I don't know much about the villa's layout, interior decoration, furniture arrangement, etc. You see. Krillin, you are worthy of being me, senior brother Wei Yuan. You said, don't have women in your heart, practice natural God. You are making it very difficult for me to do this. The villa was destroyed and no one felt any sleep for a while. Krillin, Yamcha, Tien Shinyan, Jiaozi, Mutant Sensei, and Turtle all returned to their respective residences. Son Goku sent Ox King back to his original residence in the Flame Mountain, while Bulma was going to fly her parents back to the western capital. Originally, Son Goku planned to use the flying technique with Bulma to send Dr. Briefs and his wife, but her parents still wanted to take a plane. Bulma, I have a little thing for you to study. Sun Wei Yuan took out the mechanical flying insect he caught before coming back. As soon as he spread out his palm, the little thing wanted to take off. Sun Wei Yuan pinched one of the insect's legs with his fingers, and the little thing flapped its wings, which made him feel a little bit cool. Bulma thought it was just a small insect at first glance, but then she thought that Wei Yuan would not be so bored as to let her study a bug, and when she looked closely, she found that it was a man-made mechanical flying insect. This is. We need to find a way to track down the source of these little things, or disrupt them so that they are all paralyzed and scrapped. Seeing Bulma still had a puzzled look on her face, he explained, there might be a lot of these little things. Maybe one day our intimate behavior could be watched live by a shady old man hiding in some corner. Do you think it's a big problem? What? I didn't know there were bugs like this when I took a shower before? Which shameless guy could have come up with this kind of thing? Bulma subconsciously crossed her arms across her chest and said excitedly. Well. Sun Wei Yuan was not sure whether Dr. Gallo had the same hobby as Wu Tian. Maybe he was bored after a long period of research and was spying on people through flying insects. It seemed that the situation was more serious than he thought. Dr. Gallo's danger level had to be increased by several levels. Was it possible that number 18? He couldn't think about it, otherwise he felt that everything he saw was not right. Maybe. We can't rule out this possibility. Anyway, Bulma, you should find out the result as soon as possible. And be more careful when taking a bath. Sun Wei Yuan said seriously. Bulma obviously realized the seriousness of the problem. Not knowing that Dr. Gallo was the owner of the mechanical flying insects, she had equated Dr. Gallo with a peeping maniac. Wei Yuan, I have to catch this pervert during this period of time. I'm sorry that I don't have time to accompany you. Bulma grabbed the flying insect, but she didn't know if she used too much force or if she didn't pay attention to the news leaking out. The flying insect exploded directly in Bulma's hand. Chapter 52. This Sun Wei Yuan is not only incredibly powerful, but his style of doing things is also very different from other martial artists. He has very sharp insight. It is extremely difficult to obtain his cells. Dr. Gallo said in a heavy tone, and at the same time gave the mechanical flying insect an order to self-destruct if caught. He also knew Bulma next to Sun Wei Yuan. She was the daughter of Dr. Briefs, whose technological ability was no less than his. Her technological talent was said to be even better than that of her father, Dr. Briefs. Knowing his disadvantage, he would not allow himself to be careless. He could never be too cautious. But it's great to be able to successfully obtain Son Goku's cells. My ultimate artificial human plan can go one step further. The cells of the most powerful martial artists on Earth have been collected almost. The only regret is that Son Goku's cells have not been collected. Dr. Gallo did not choose to make Cell into an android like number 17 and number 18. He wanted to create an android that could evolve continuously. He used the cells of a strong man to create an embryo, and then cultivated it step by step. The growth potential of the embryo far exceeded that of other types of androids. He also discovered that the drawback of this plan was that it was too time-consuming. Apart from anything else, the fusion of the cells of the strong was a huge challenge, requiring a long time to fuse them bit by bit. Moreover, there is a high probability that the fusion process will fail. Secondly, the embryo culture and how to further transform it so that it can grow and develop along the expected route. Even he did not have much confidence in creating the ultimate android, Cell, but Son Goiwan and Son Goku were too powerful, and none of the three most powerful androids, number 16, 17, and 18, obeyed his orders. Number 16 is a purely mechanical android he created based on his deceased son. His strength is currently much stronger than number 17 and number 18. He has a gentle and peaceful personality, loves peace, likes nature and small animals, but does not like fighting and will not help him conquer the world. Number 17 and number 18 are also very strong, but they don't listen to his orders and are very hostile to him. They would kill him first if they get the slightest chance. His situation was once very awkward. The artificial humans who obeyed his orders were not strong, and those who were strong enough were either peace-loving or wanted to kill him. It was so miserable, as they were all failures. It's a pity that I can only produce 2 permanent energy reactors. Otherwise, I could continue to research, improve, and develop successful permanent androids. The permanent energy reactors in number 17 and no 18's bodies can't be fused with them. The core material for making the energy furnace was a strange substance that he had searched the entire Earth for, which could absorb and convert energy infinitely. However, part of it was wasted due to failures in the manufacturing process. In the end, only 2 were successfully produced. When conducting living transplants, a large number of people were captured for experiments. Dr. Gallo came up with 2 reasons for the failure. One is that a strong body is needed to withstand the minimum energy value of the permanent energy furnace, the other is that a physique is needed that is compatible with the permanent energy furnace. The higher the degree of compatibility, the lower the strength requirement for the body. The key is to be able to continue to become stronger through the permanent energy furnace. He spent a long time selecting a group of people with a certain degree of compatibility from among the many Earthlings, then secretly observed and tested the approximate degree of compatibility, and finally selected the brother and sister with the highest degree of compatibility as the carriers of the permanent energy furnace. Even so, it is still very difficult to fuse the permanent energy furnace. Dr. Gallo modified and implanted the permanent energy furnace, bombs, control devices, etc. when they were 8 years old. Then, in order to make the permanent energy furnace fuse with their body cells more quickly, they were put into a deep sleep for more than 10 years. Even the nutrients needed for the growth of number 17 and number 18, who were still children, were injected intravenously. The fusion of the permanent energy reactor was completed a few years after the destruction of the Red Ribbon Corps. However, when Dr. Gallo tried to release number 17, he found that the other party did not obey his orders and wanted to attack him. He had no choice but to press the remote control first. That was the closest he had ever been to death. If he had pressed the remote control 0.01 seconds slower, he would have been killed. Under desperate circumstances, he came up with this ultimate artificial human plan which was both difficult and time-consuming. If he had not witnessed the strength of the enemy today, he would probably have given up this plan and let the computer control the deduction on its own and carry out the next absorbing artificial human plan. If the cell plan successfully fuses the cells of number 17, number 18, Son Goku, Piccolo and others, not only will they have a high degree of compatibility, but they will also have an extremely strong physique, increase the upper limit of the number of permanent energy furnaces that can be carried, and even obtain additional special skills from many martial artists. If the permanent energy furnace is gone, then let the cell that has grown to a certain stage devour number 17 and number 18, and directly obtain the developed permanent energy furnace people, and save a lot of time required for cell fusion of permanent energy furnaces. Dr. Gallo quickly perfected the cell plan. What he had to do next was to conduct a long experiment and wait. In addition, he knew that Sun Weiyuan and Bulma were looking for him, and he was even preparing to run away. On Baizai Mountain, seeing the mechanical flying insect explode, Sun Weiyuan cursed inwardly with contempt, "This old guy is better than me. No, this old guy is too steady, commonly known as Go, it's just a small insect, what clues can it find about you, do you even need to install a self-destruct program? Bulma, you got hit by an explosion. Did your hand get any skin hurt? Would you like a senzu bean? No, my fighting power is not weak anyway. This explosion can't hurt me. That peeping maniac is too careful. By the way, Weiyuan, are there many flying insects like this?" Bulma asked unwillingly. "There are all over the world, I don't know how many there are. When we get back to the western capital, I'll pay a high price to have someone capture them. I want to see if they can all explode. Otherwise, I, Bulma, will definitely find them." After Bulma left, Sun Weiyuan told his grandfather that he was going out for a while and flew towards the northern glacier. He wanted to go directly to Dr. Gallo's lair and kill this old man who loved to peek, surveillance. Old Son Gohan got used to his grandson's habit of running around and not staying at home, so he asked him to come back early for dinner without saying much. Oh, the difference between the two grandsons is really big, one loves to run outside every day, the other stays in the gravity room all day to practice, don't call him except for dinner. Sun Weiyuan's mouth curled up slightly with an evil smile, Do you think that the mechanical flying insects will be fine after they explode? Although I don't know your exact location, it is enough to know your approximate location. At most, I will search for you on the northern glacier for a day. If one day doesn't work, then 2 days will do. You'd better hide well, you bad old man, otherwise you will have to report to the King of Hell. Chapter 53. Has Sun Weiyuan taken any action? He set up layers of surveillance and discovered that Sun Weiyuan was flying towards the northern glacier at a very fast speed. The northern glacier is sparsely populated. He wouldn't come here to wander around if there's nothing wrong. Besides, he's in front of him. Dr. Gallo's years of solid experience told him to be careful. A bad feeling of panic was growing stronger and stronger. After just 2 seconds of being stunned, he saw Sun Weiyuan suddenly appearing on the northern glacier. His heartbeat suddenly quickened, and he immediately decided to make a strategic move to avoid a meeting with Sun Weiyuan, as the opponent was definitely coming for him. He decided to run away, without even thinking about why Sun Weiyuan suddenly appeared on the northern glacier. He quickly put the important information into the universal capsule and took away the cells he had collected with great effort. What a pity, we can't take number 17 and number 18 with us. They are not pure machines and cannot be put into the universal capsule. Dr. Gallo took number 16 and entered a universe spaceship. After completing all the operations, he looked back at the hibernation chambers with numbers 17 and 18 on them. Wait, Dr. Gallo will definitely come back. Dr. Gallo closed his eyes in the universe spacecraft, fell into a state of suspended animation, and sealed off all his breath. He has studied the techniques of martial artists very deeply, and even developed a device that can absorb the ki of martial artists, but he has not had time to apply it to androids, so he also knows that skilled martial artists can sense him through ki. In order to completely prevent being discovered by Sun Weiyuan, he not only made himself lose his breath, but also made the spaceship take the safest and most hidden route away from Sun Weiyuan, and only took off and flew into the universe when it was a safe enough distance. Going forward in time, Sun Weiyuan set out from Baizai Mountain. During the flight, he felt that he was obviously flying towards the northern glacier. Would the old fox Dr. Gallo notice anything? So he carefully felt the breath from the north. Although the northern glacier was vast and sparsely populated, there were still many humans living in such a large area. Sun Weiyuan instant transmission reached the northern glacier twice. In fact, he didn't want to do it twice, but he didn't know anyone there and didn't know the distance. There are also small towns where people live in the desolate north. Sun Weiyuan prioritizes eliminating places with a lot of auras and looking for locations with a single aura to perform instant transmission. He had transmitted hundreds of times but never saw the old man. He had scared the ordinary people. Was his luck too bad? It was impossible. In such a sparsely populated place, he had transmitted to a young woman bathing in a hot spring. Ah! It seemed that his luck was indeed a bit bad. Is it possible that Dr. Gallo has now become a breathless android? It seems I have to take out the 7 Dragon Balls that I have treasured for many years. They have been unused since I went to King Kai's planet for training, and then I put them in a place that can be isolated from the Dragon Ball detection radar and have kept them until now. Sun Weiyuan thought about it. Where did I put the 7 Dragon Balls? Oh, yes, once when I went hunting in the mountains, I fed the 7 Dragon Balls to a large carnivorous dinosaur. He has only used the Earth Shenron once in all these years, and it is inconvenient to carry the 7 Dragon Balls on him. The universal capsule compresses particles and then restores them to take out items. It is not known whether the 7 Dragon Balls are too hard for the universal capsule to compress or because of the special energy they carry. In short, they cannot be put in. If he leaves it at home, he'll probably attract thieves. It's okay if he and Goku are at home, but if it's not there, who knows what will happen if one day someone launches a missile and flattens Baizai Mountain. And even if he stayed at home, the missile itself had no gas, so it was hard to defend against. If it came while he was sleeping, could you block it? It was okay to hit a person, but the key point was that it would be bad if it destroyed the house and Baizai Mountain. The strength of these 3 grandfathers and grandsons is there for all to see. Unless they have a bomb like Dr. Gallo that can blow up the earth, it would be difficult for them to even suffer minor injuries. After Sun Weiyuan found the scent of the dinosaur, he instant transmission went over, and the dinosaur, which was madly chasing its prey, was startled. After roaring, he found that Sun Weiyuan looked very familiar, and a not-so-wonderful memory came to his mind again. It was a sad story. On a sunny morning, he was doing something shameful with a female dragon, and the skinny biped suddenly grinned and slapped him on the forehead, and then he fainted on the back of the female dragon. After that, the female dragon never paid attention to him again. Moreover, he had no teeth, and he had big problems with digestion and appetite. He was hungry every day, but he felt very full. Roar, roar, roar. Do you know how I have been living these years? I can't eat or poop smoothly, and the female dragons ignore me. What on earth did you do to me? Is this thing going to get stupid? It looks pretty good, but it's a little too thin. Is it trying to lose weight and become slimmer? Tisk 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 tisk, I can even see its ribs. This stupid dragon is really weird. Dinosaur number % at. I don't understand you. You're too noisy. Lie down first. I'm very fast. Sun Weiyuan slapped the dinosaur, and the dinosaur fell down when he felt the scene was somewhat familiar. After clapping his hands twice, Sun Weiyuan shouted to the dinosaur, "Come out." Shenron. After a long while, there was no change in the sky. What? Is Earth Shenron so weak? Suppressed by this stupid dinosaur? Can't get out? Brother dinosaur, I'm sorry. I can only send you to King Yama. Remember to tell my name. Maybe King Yama will reincarnate you to Baizai Mountain because we are from the same school, King Kai taught you. You will be a good dragon again in 18 years. Sun Weiyuan kept talking to comfort the dinosaur, but his hands were not idle at all. He took advantage of the dinosaur's inattention to cut off its dragon head cleanly and neatly, ending its sinful life and benefiting many animals in Baizai Mountain. My meritorious deeds are immeasurable. A stroke was made on the dinosaur's bulging belly, and 7 large stone balls with smooth edges rolled out. Was the stone ball that I stuffed with the 7 dragon balls really that big? Probably not. I didn't think it was that big at the time. I knocked out the silly dragon's teeth and stuffed it in easily. Come out, Shenron. The dinosaur that was suppressing you has been killed by me. What Sun Weiyuan didn't know was that after he disappeared from the northern glacier, the small universe spaceship carrying Dr. Gallo took off on the spot, quickly left the Earth, and flew into the universe starry sky. I watched as the sky suddenly became overcast with dark clouds. Everything around me was as dark as night. Thunder snakes rolled in the dark clouds, and golden light suddenly appeared. Shenron is always like this. He likes to be particular about his appearance. It would be great if he could appear instantly when he is supposed to appear, and disappear immediately when he is supposed to leave. Isn't it good that Shenron is hard to find, coming and going without a trace? Sun Weiyuan complained boredly while waiting for Shenron to appear. Tell me your wish. Bring Dr. Gallo to me. Sun Weiyuan said without hesitation. Chapter 54. Sun Weiyuan smiled evilly. According to the original time, it would take 11 years for Dr. Gallo to transform himself into android number 20 and make his debut. He didn't believe that Dr. Gallo became an android so early. If it was really that early, why would he have to wait until 11 years later to come out? In the original work, Raditz would still appear 4 or 5 years later at this point in time, and Son Goku's combat power was still very low. If he came out, no one could stop him from seeking revenge and conquering the world. Well, apart from the fact that he was just unlucky and had failed to hit the target with instant transmission hundreds of times, another possibility was that Dr. Gallo had a way to conceal his own aura. The specific method was not important, because he could not understand the technological civilization of this world anyway. However, as long as Dr. Gallo is still an ordinary person without any power, he cannot resist Shenron's power. No matter he agrees or refuses, he will be sent to him, and it will be up to him to either round him or flatten him. Dr. Gallo's universe spacecraft is traveling at an extremely high speed. It has already left the solar system where the Earth is located and is heading towards the starry sky far away from the Earth. At a certain moment, Dr. Gallo's eyelids moved while he was in suspended animation. The voice of the Earth Shenron was transmitted directly through his body to his soul consciousness. Go back to Earth? What a joke! He had gone to great lengths to leave Earth, his soul screaming, No, no, I don't want to go back to Earth. Sun Weiyuan on Earth looked at the dragon above his head and squirmed before he slowly spoke. This wish is very simple. Here it comes. He will soon be able to see Dr. Gallo, the famous scientist, and he feels inexplicably excited. In this late Dragon Ball 7th universe where Scion, Frozen Demon, Gods of Destruction, Angel, etc. are rampant, the androids created by Dr. Gero can be said to be the last face of the Earthlings. Shenron's eyes flashed red, and Sun Weiyuan saw an old man with white hair and beard lying peacefully on the ground in front of him. Your wish has been fulfilled. Shenron disappeared, and with a whoosh, the 7 Dragon Balls scattered and flew all over the world. Sun Weiyuan checked Dr. Gallo's condition. He had no breath and no heartbeat. Did Shenron accidentally kill Dr. Gallo while forcibly packing him up? So what should we do with this old man? Whip his corpse? Not good, right? He is not that kind of person. The dead are the greatest, the dead are the greatest. Important things should be said twice. So Sun Weiyuan stripped off all the clothes on Dr. Gallo, hiss, so ugly and so eye-catching. And so short. He only found a universal capsule in one pocket of his clothes, and then wrapped up the tattered clothes for Dr. Gallo. After all, Dr. Gallo was a famous scientist, and he was going to die, so he couldn't let him lose his reputation in his later years. I am such a kind and honest person, but I easily suffer losses. I may not be able to make it in the universe. When he opened the universal capsule, he saw a hibernation chamber with the number 16 written on it. Sun Weiyuan was a little surprised, because number 16 should be placed in Dr. Gallo's secret laboratory together with android numbers 17 and 18. But why did Dr. Gallo carry number 16 with him now? Was he missing his dead son? Sun Weiyuan stared at Dr. Gallo's corpse and thought, just in case, did he dismember Gallo when he buried him? After returning the hibernation chamber to the universal capsule, instant transmission picked up Dr. Gallo's corpse and headed to the northern glacier again. He spent more than an hour searching for the research institute and found a cave sealed by a heavy iron door. Suddenly, he felt Dr. Gallo's presence. What is this? Is he resurrected? Let's see if he will wake up. I'll help him. You're welcome, Doctor. A series of loud and clear slaps sounded in a regular and rhythmic manner. Dr. Gallo woke up and felt that his face was numb, as if it didn't belong to him anymore. Hello, smiley face, great scientist Dr. Gallo, you should know me, hee. Sun Weiyuan said with a sunny smile. It's you. Sun Weiyuan. My plan was perfect. Why were you able to find me and capture me? Dr. Gallo asked in shock and anger. Not only did his face hurt, but he was also a little angry. How could such a perfect plan be easily destroyed by Sun Weiyuan? He was confident that no one could do better than him if faced with the same situation. Also, he had heard a voice in his fuzzy consciousness asking him if he wanted to return to Earth. It seemed like a dream, and Dr. Gallo had some guesses. Why should I explain? Guess. Sun Weiyuan smashed open the big iron gate, grabbed Dr. Gallo's neck, and floated into the cave without touching the ground. Dr. Gallo fumbled around on his body several times and said, "Don't look for it. How could such a dangerous android stay on you when it's here with me? You seem to know me very well." Dr. Gallo broke out in a cold sweat and his face turned terrified. He had lost all chances of turning the tables. Dr. Gallo, the chief scientist of the Red Ribbon Army, don't you know Goku and me very well? Sun Weiyuan said in a flat tone. Dr. Gallo suddenly said excitedly, I know, it's the 7 Dragon Balls. After Son Goku destroyed the Red Ribbon Army, he also took away all the Dragon Balls in our army. What are you doing? Stop it, they are 2 failures that will kill everyone on the earth. You'd better be quiet. Sun Weiyuan was no longer interested in dealing with Dr. Gallo and slapped him on the forehead. Dr. Gallo fainted with his face to the ground. Before he fainted, a thought flashed through his mind, who is this person? Can't you wait for me to finish what I am saying? Both hibernation chambers 17 and 18 are here. I am a hero saving a beautiful girl, right? Brother-in-law, wait for me. There is order of seniority. I will rescue your sister first. Please wait for a moment. Sun Weiyuan opened the door of the number 18 hibernation chamber. He saw a beautiful woman with azure eyes and shoulder-length golden hair lying quietly inside. His eyes moved to her chest involuntarily. She is still so outstanding even when lying on her back? Don't underestimate her. Should we give number 18 a full body check to see if there is anything wrong? During the few seconds he hesitated, number 18 woke up, stood up, and slowly walked out of the hibernation chamber. She glanced at Dr. Gallo lying on the ground. It was this man who brought endless darkness and pain to herself and her brother. Dr. Gallo not only captured them when they were still young for experiments and transformed them into artificial humans, but also destroyed their warm families. She wanted to kill Dr. Gallo all the time. Number 18 said with a frosty face, Sun Weiyuan, one of the people Dr. Gallo wants us to kill. Although your power is not weak, it is not so easy to kill me. Sun Weiyuan said nonchalantly, moreover, seriously speaking, I am not only not your enemy, but also your savior. Do you still want to complete the task of your enemy and kill your benefactor? Chapter 55. Number 18 stood there in silence, her face still cold, and it was impossible to tell what she was thinking. Sun Weiyuan walked towards the hibernation chamber number 17 and opened it. Number 17 quickly woke up. Sun Weiyuan? I didn't expect that it was you who released number 18 and me. It's really surprising. Number 17 also saw Dr. Gallo lying on the ground motionless. He flashed to Dr. Gallo's side and stepped on Dr. Gallo's head without hesitation. The head of Dr. Gallo, who was in a coma, was instantly crushed with a creepy crunching sound, and he received his lunchbox without even a sound. Seeing all this, Sun Weiyuan said inwardly, Old Gallo, your death was so tragic and ugly, it's my fault. I will observe 3 seconds of silence for you, you're welcome. Then he turned to Sun Goiwan and said, we were created to defeat you and Son Goku. Since you released us from Dr. Gero, just kill Son Goku. Son Goku is my brother, you know that, number 17. Of course, you are the ones Dr. Gallo wants to get rid of the most. We have a lot of information about you in our data, including combat data, interpersonal relationships, power growth rate, etc. Defeating you is the mission and purpose created. There's something wrong with your algorithm, number 17. I saved you in number 18, and I also gave you Dr. Gallo's. Then there's nothing I can do. The power I possess is beyond your imagination. You can't stop me from killing Son Goku. 17 was full of confidence, and his tone was not much different from that of stating a fact. Sun Weiyuan raised his lips slightly and said with a smile, if you don't try, how do you know that I am not your opponent? There can't be anyone in this world who is more powerful than us. The scene immediately became so quiet that you could hear a pin drop, the atmosphere became tense, and a murderous aura spread. Number 18 saw that the two were about to fight, and said calmly, Number 17, he saved our lives. I only said to knock him down, not kill him. Number 17 said as he walked towards Sun Weiyuan. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. He stopped when he was 2 punches away from Sun Weiyuan, with a strange smile on his face. He clenched his right fist suddenly and threw a quick and sharp punch straight to Sun Weiyuan's abdomen. A dull and painful sound came out of his mouth involuntarily. Number 17 arched his waist and put his right fist on Sun Weiyuan's belly, but he was unable to move forward and froze in the air. Actually, I also like to conquer people with force. Sun Weiyuan said with a smile. Having said that, if he is facing the angel gods of destruction from the 7th universe, conquering people with food is also very good. It depends on the situation. Number 18 was very surprised. Sun Weiyuan's strength was much stronger than what Dr. Gallo had given them. Number 17 clenched the fist that hit his abdomen. It seems that I should take this seriously. Your strength is indeed beyond my expectations, but you are not my opponent. You have no idea how terrifying my strength is. I'll wait and see. Although he had watched a lot of Dragon Ball anime in his previous life, there were many different opinions about its combat power, each one more exaggerated than the other. He remembered that when Frieza was first aired, the total combat power of his final form in Namek was only 1 million, and later it was changed to 120 million at some point. So, what is the combat power of this living number 17 in front of us? It was not known how much strength number 17 used, but he punched towards Sun Weiyuan's abdomen, and the latter accurately grasped No 17's fist. What? You can actually catch it. Number 17 and Sun Weiyuan seemed to be competing with each other, and at the same time, they continued to increase their strength. The white flames gradually grew larger and more violent, the cave began to shake and tremble, and rocks fell off the cave roof. Sun Weiyuan felt the full strength of number 17, which was stronger than 275 million, but slightly weaker than his own, probably around 300 million. After all, combat effectiveness is not static, but has a certain range of fluctuation. Even if your strength is equal to mine, you will not be my opponent. My physical strength is unlimited, and you will become weaker and weaker as the fight progresses. He was surprised at Sun Weiyuan's powerful strength, but he was still confident that he could defeat him. Sun Weiyuan nodded to show his agreement with number 17, but who could be sure during a battle? It's true that I can't compete with you and number 18 in terms of physical strength, but why should I compete with you, number 17, in physical strength? Can't I just knock you down with one move? If it was an enemy like Frieza, Sun Goiwan would be too lazy to put in so much effort. He would either let Goku accumulate combat experience, or burst out with strength to kill him in one move. Ha 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 ha. Number 17 obviously didn't believe that Sun Weiyuan could kill him in one move. I don't believe it. Are you interested in making a bet? Betting is a very common trick, but Sun Weiyuan doesn't care how old the trick is, as long as the other party falls for it. Interesting. Dr. Gallo, who controlled them, was dead. Number 17 was in a good mood and didn't mind spending some time playing with Sun Weiyuan. Tell me, what are we betting on? Number 17 asked with a raised eyebrow. If you want to gamble, of course you have to gamble big. If I lose, I will arrange a one-stop service for your food, clothing, housing, and transportation. It's a sin, it's a sin. I, Sun Weiyuan, have been involved in gambling for once, and I will never do it again. If I break my promise, let my good buddy Krillin be single for another 30 years. What's my price? How about I give your sister number 18 to me? What a sin, as the old saying goes, beautiful women are the root of trouble. Let me just bear this pain silently, and don't let the innocent Klin be harmed. At this moment, Sun Weiyuan's mental activities were extremely active. He certainly did not expect number 17 to agree. That was not his intention. Baga Yalu, Sun Weiyuan, what did you say? Before number 17 could answer, number 18 got angry and said, you guys can gamble if you want, what does it have to do with me? Did you see that? Well, I'm just trying my luck. If it succeeds, I'll make a lot of money. Haha. Number 18, did you see that? Sun Weiyuan actually tried to attract your attention the first time they met. Is he blind? You have such a bad temper. Number 17, say it again. Number 18 showed a fierce look and warned sternly. See? She is just so irritable. You have to change her. No 17's expression did not change much. How about this, I'll take a loss, and if you lose I'll prepare a villa for you, and find a way to remove the bombs in your bodies. And if you lose you can't hurt anyone except yourselves, but that doesn't include the universe people. When number 17 and number 18 heard the word bomb, they were no longer as calm and composed as before. This Sun Weiyuan knew too much. The two men stared at Sun Weiyuan, like cheetahs preparing to catch prey, and they might suddenly attack Sun Weiyuan at any time. Why are you so nervous? If I wanted to kill you, why would I let you out? Sun Weiyuan took a glance and said reasonably. There are 7 Dragon Balls on Earth that can be used to make wishes come true. They can't turn you back into humans, but they can defuse a bomb. You don't want a time bomb in your body, do you? Chapter 56. Number 17 and number 18 looked at each other and nodded in agreement to the bet. If they won, they could solve a major hidden danger of their own, and if they lost, it would not be a loss. They did not necessarily have to kill people, and they did not have a hobby of killing for fun. At the Frieza Corps headquarters, a lizardman hurriedly ran up to Frieza and reported, something bad has happened, King Frieza. Speak. Frieza behaved elegantly and gentlemanly, speaking calmly. The equipment at our headquarters that detects the combat power of living beings exploded. I remember the last explosion was during the time when the fruit of the spirit tree appeared. Later, the upper limit of the headquarters' exclusive large combat power detector was raised to 100 million points. My dear brother Cooler has also left my sphere of influence. Did you go to detect Slug's combat power? Frieza asked casually. No, King Frieza's subordinates have always remembered that you asked us not to provoke Slug for the time being. This horrific energy reaction appeared in a remote area of the northern Milky Way. The lizardman lowered his head and did not dare to look up and meet Frieza's gaze. Immediately activate the spare large combat power detector with a maximum limit of 200 million. I want to see how strong the newly emerged mysterious strong man is. Frieza said with a gloomy face. The Great King. He's coming out, with a combat power of 150 million. The lizardman was frightened by this combat power. Many people in the Legion did not know Frieza's true combat power, but he knew that he was in charge of the combat power, which was stronger than King Frieza's 120 million combat power. 150 million? They are stronger than my current strength. How could such a strong person suddenly appear in the remote area of the northern galaxy? Pass the order and ask the Legion members over there to temporarily stop the mission of conquering and occupying the planet. The Great King. What's the matter again? Frieza was a little angry. The lizard man trembled and said, another, even more powerful force appeared, and the instrument exploded again. What? Activate the biggest detector immediately. Frieza's tone began to become anxious. Yes. The result is out. 310 million. My lord, there are 310 million new energies. Frieza's forehead was covered with sweat after hearing this. They were strong, much stronger than him. But why did they all appear in the remote area of the northern galaxy? Could there be some good stuff there? Keep a close eye on those two. On the other side, Slag also heard the report from his subordinates. He did not have the technological capabilities as powerful as Frieza's army, so he could only speculate that the combat power of the two new mysterious strong men was over 100 million. If I could get the spirit tree, I would have enough vitality to unleash my full power. Damn it, who on earth stole my spirit tree? On the northern glacier of the earth, Sun Weiyuan and number 17 were making a bet and looking at each other from a distance. I'm curious, where do you get the confidence to defeat me, who is equally powerful, with one move? According to the information, you are not an arrogant person, so you must have some trump card. Number 17 said calmly, however, you are not the only one with a trump card. Protective shield. A turquoise spherical protective shield wrapped number 17. Number 17 used all his strength to use his strongest defensive skills. He could not be careless in removing the bomb in his body. Now that you are ready, I can't keep you waiting any longer. Double Kaioken. After using up Double Kaioken, No 17's protective shield seemed quite strong. Sun Weiyuan felt that it was not safe enough, so he increased it to Triple Kaioken, and the red aura became even stronger. The previous second, he was in front of number 17, about 100 meters away, and the next second he appeared behind number 17. A precise and skillful slap was delivered to the back of No 17's head. The protective shield shattered instantly like glass, but the force of the blow was not reduced much. Sun Weiyuan quickly retracted most of his strength when he saw that the situation was not right. Number 17 wanted to turn around and raise his hand to block the moment the protective shield was broken. Just as he had the thought, Sun Weiyuan slapped him hard on the back of his head, and his consciousness became blurred, and his body fell to the ground. Sun Weiyuan muttered, fortunately, the power was restrained, otherwise my brother-in-law might have to rely on Namex Shenron to resurrect in the future. Number 17. Number 18 shouted anxiously and flew into the pit created by number 17's body. Don't be nervous. Didn't I tell you? I have no intention to kill you. Number 17 was just knocked unconscious by me. Sun Weiyuan said calmly. The worst that can happen is a concussion, but he is definitely not dead. Well, I was very measured in my actions. The great king. When Frieza heard this voice, his heart suddenly skipped a beat. What bad news was this guy going to bring? King Frieza, it exploded again. What do you mean it exploded again? Are you saying that the largest combat power detector also exploded? Frieza said angrily at first, then in disbelief. The lizard man nodded quickly and said, yes, in that remote area before the northern Milky Way, there was an energy reaction of more than 500 million, and the instrument exploded again. Investigate immediately. No matter what method you use, do your best to find out the cause. Otherwise, you should know the consequences. In a remote area of the northern Milky Way, even a soldier-level combat force is very rare. My subordinates do not even bother to occupy those small planets, but such strong men appear one after another. There must be something good that I don't know about. Could it be that these strong men are just full and have nothing to do? Conduct a secret investigation, do not reveal your identity, and absolutely do not provoke those strong people. Frieza thought for a moment and added. This aura is so terrifying, it's Sun Goiwan's aura. I didn't expect that he hadn't even used his full strength when fighting Son Goku. Can human strength reach this level? The gap is so big that it's unimaginable. Under a big tree on Baizai Mountain, Piccolo talked to himself, a little discouraged. Master Weiyuan usually restrains his aura. He may be fighting with someone and cannot sense the other party's aura. What kind of enemy is he fighting against? Unfortunately, I am too weak to help. Krillin of Kame Island said with clenched fists. He turned around and saw Master Roshi, who was still calmly reading Age magazine, and shook his head helplessly. Number 18 found the unconscious number 17 in the pit. Sun Weiyuan also went forward to check on him and confirmed that number 17 was still breathing and had a heartbeat, but there was a bump on the back of number 17's head, covered by his hair. Goku? Why are you here? Aren't you here to take Uncle Ox King home? I sent it back, but found that the fire started again. I went to find the banana fan but couldn't put out the flames. Later I heard that the fire came from the 8 gods temple in the underworld. I was about to go to the 5 elements mountain, and then I found that the situation over there was not right, so I came to check on you. Son Goku told him what happened. Who are they? Have they fought with you before, brother? They must be very strong. Son Goku asked excitedly. Chapter 57. They are indeed very strong. Their strength is above yours. Even if you transform, you can't beat any of them. Goku looked at 18, who was not unconscious, with shining eyes. Those who know Goku know that he is eager to fight, while those who don't know him might think that Goku is an LSP, but in fact he is a martial arts fanatic who knows nothing about matters between men and women. Goku walked up to 18 and bowed, then put his hands together and said, "Let's fight." Number 18 glanced at number 17 lying on the ground, and then glanced at Sun Weiyuan from the corner of his eye before saying coldly, "Okay." Sun Weiyuan also noticed that number 18 looked at him. Why did she look at me before agreeing? Number 18 and Son Goku distanced themselves and flew into the air. After staring at each other for a few seconds, Son Goku growled and attacked first. He only attacked when his fist reached 18, and then he struck Goku in the stomach first. Goku bent his waist like a shrimp and drooled. Sun Weiyuan watched the battle between number 18 and Goku, and felt that this scene was very familiar. He turned his head and glanced at number 17, who was still lying there. After thinking for a while in silence, "Goku, don't be too persistent and stubborn in this battle. The battle in the sky is still going on, and Son Goku is gradually showing his strength to fight against 18. To be precise, it is a one-sided beating, and Goku is the one being beaten. Shikuaki, you are indeed very strong. I am going to use all my strength." Sorry, I just learned this transformation not long ago, so I'm not very proficient in it. Goku laughed, scratching the back of his head. "Is this all your strength?" Number 18 suddenly said. The situation is getting worse and worse." Sun Weiyuan tried to persuade him, "Goku, you two have been fighting for a long time, why don't you stop here?" Alas, Goku has grown up and won't listen to advice. Let him be. Anyway, with him watching, 18 is unlikely to kill him. He will just get beaten up, which is not a big problem. "Brother, it's so hard to meet such a powerful opponent, I'm going to fight him with all my strength." After saying that, Goku instant transmission went behind 18 and threw a straight punch. 18 turned around and grabbed his wrist tightly. With a strong pull, Son Goku lost control and leaned forward. 18 turned sideways and raised his leg to hit Son Goku's abdomen with his knee, and then added an elbow strike, knocking Son Goku to the ground. Goku never gave up. As time went by, his strength became weaker and weaker. Although he was not seriously injured, he had more and more bumps on his head and his face was covered with bruises. My goodness, she could have knocked Goku out with one move, but she took so much time to fight, beat Goku. 18 is taking revenge. She wants to beat Goku so badly that even I, her brother, won't be able to recognize him. The battle came to an end, Kamehameha. Son Goku used his last energy to release Kamehameha, but 18 was very fast and dodged the attack. He flashed behind Son Goku and slapped Goku hard on the back of his head. Just before he fainted, Goku felt something very familiar. He thought of his older brother. Sun Weiyuan was fascinated, is number 18 so vindictive? I only hit her brother number 17 twice, and she beat my brother Goku for so long. I only punched number 17 on the back of the head, leaving a bump. She beat Goku so hard that his nose and face were swollen, and his head was covered with bumps. My poor brother. Number 18 glanced at Sun Weiyuan, who was quickly entering the pit to look for someone. His cold face did not change much, but the corners of his mouth slightly raised an arc that was difficult for outsiders to detect. He walked to the side of number 17 again. Sun Goiwan walked out of the pit holding the unconscious Goku. 18, you were too harsh on my brother. Are you going to beat me up to vent your anger on your brother? Beat you up? Forget it. I generally won't beat a woman unless she is one of those extremely annoying ones. Goku has been beaten more than once or twice. I can't even remember how many times I've beaten him. Sun Weiyuan said as he fed Goku a senzu bean. At the moment his injuries were healed, Goku slowly opened his eyes. Seeing that Goku recovered, he raised his eyebrows at number 18, meaning, my brother is completely healed, but your brother is still lying on the ground. Son Goku, do you want to fight again? Number 18 lifted a bunch of hair from her forehead and hung it behind her ear, her voice was very calm. Goku had just been beaten up, so his skin shouldn't be so itchy? But in order to prevent Goku's fighting nerves from going haywire again, Sun Weiyuan still spoke first. Goku, don't you still need to find the octagonal eggshell of the fire-eating bird and the honey of the bees living in the octagonal nest to repair the Bagua furnace? Goku, he won't fight with you again, don't forget our bet, you and number 17 lost. Son Goku laughed awkwardly, but if you hadn't reminded me, I would have forgotten that Grandpa and Shishi are still waiting on the Five Elements Mountain for me to gather all the materials to repair the Bagua furnace. Shortly after Son Goku left, number 17 woke up slowly. Son Goku, what was that special move of yours? I felt that your power increased a lot at that moment. I went to King Kai with Goku to train a few years ago. I learned a lot of martial arts knowledge and King Kai's two special moves from him. I used Kaioken against you just now, which can multiply your strength. I used triple Kaioken when I hit you. Sun Weiyuan suddenly slapped his head and said, by the way, you have an interesting companion who is much stronger than you. Sun Weiyuan, although I can't beat you, we have never heard of any androids other than us. I, number 17, am the strongest android created by Dr. Gallo. No, you are wrong, number 17. I know Dr. Gallo better than you do. He has indeed created artificial humans that are stronger than you. It's just that their situations are similar to yours. They don't obey Dr. Gallo's orders. Sun Weiyuan took out a universal capsule, pressed it, and threw it to the open space next to him. Bang! A hibernation chamber appeared. Number 17 was slightly surprised, it turns out there are other androids. This one is, no 16. He is a man-made man who is more powerful than you. However, unlike you, he is not a half-man, half-machine transformed from a human body. He is made purely of machinery. Number 17 stepped forward and tried to open it to let number 16 out, but Sun Weiyuan grabbed his hand and said calmly, I'm just showing him to you. I didn't say I'm going to give him to you. At least I can't let you take him now. What exactly do you want to do? Asked number 17. It's just to deal with some potential hidden dangers. Although number 16 was defined as a failure by Dr. Gero, he was actually created to kill me and Goku. Okay, I've talked enough with you. I have something else to do. As he said that, Sun Weiyuan put away number 16, walked into the cave, searched for a while and found a passage extending deep underground. Without thinking, he fired a ki blast and flashed out of the cave. The next second, a mushroom cloud appeared behind them, and the place where the cave was located was completely destroyed. No matter whether Dr. Gallo has cultivated Cell's embryo or not, this trip has ended successfully. But he felt a little strange, as if he had forgotten something. Chapter 58. Number 16 is a powerful android like you. He is one of your kind. It is not appropriate to leave him with me. I will send him to you after he is repaired. Goodbye, both of you. See you later. After Sun Weiyuan disappeared, should we go back to our old village? No 18. Go back? That's fine. Our enemies are dead, and we don't have to deal with Sun Goiwan and Sun Goku. We need to find a place to stay. Number 17 said jokingly, if you have nowhere to go, you can go find that guy Sun Weiyuan. He may be the only one on earth who dares to take you. Humph. Number 17, do you want to fight? Number 18 snorted coldly, looking at number 17 with murderous eyes. She was grateful to Sun Weiyuan for saving her and number 17, but she was not so grateful that she would give herself to him, especially when she knew that he was in a relationship with Bulma. Along the way, the two did not say much. After a long silence, number 18 broke the silence by saying, I'm going to buy clothes first. Do you want to come? You got any money? No. But there are a lot of them. Number 18 said, pointing at the three fleeing animal men led by the bareheaded man, with a police car chasing them. Didn't we promise Sun Weiyuan not to harm others? Number 17 picked up a large bag of banknotes on the ground and said to the animal man and the policeman lying on the ground. I only knocked out 2 people, you beat up the others, and we didn't kill anyone, so it doesn't count as a breach of the bet. In Bulma's lab in the West City, Sun Weiyuan appeared next to Bulma. Weiyuan, why are you here? I came to see your progress. There is another thing that might interest you. It's a dangerous item for you to handle. I found 2 types of mechanical flying insects. One is the same as the one you showed me before, and it explodes when caught. The other is still under study, but there are no results yet. What kind of dangerous item are you dealing with? After seeing that the mechanical flying insects could explode, Sun Weiyuan no longer expected Bulma to find Dr. Gallo. He knew that in addition to Dr. Gallo's mechanical flying insects, there was another kind of small insect that monitored and collected information about the Earth, the reconnaissance rocket. It is said that among every 100,000 flies there is a reconnaissance rocket from the Galactic Patrol. He pressed the universal capsule containing number 16 and explained, I used 7 Dragon Balls to have Shenron send the guy who controls the flying insects to me. The person who likes to peek is the world-renowned scientist Dr. Gallo. Bulma, you must know him. I didn't expect it to be him. Seeing the hibernation chamber containing number 16, Bulma asked, is this the dangerous item you mentioned? Yes, he is a man-made human developed by Dr. Gero just to kill Goku and me. He is much more powerful than Goku, so it would be a pity to destroy him. So I want you to study and see if you can modify the program a little bit, so that the mission of killing Goku and me can be changed to protecting the Earth. Don't worry about anything else. Bulma immediately became excited when she heard the word android. She was obsessed with technology, just like Goku was obsessed with martial arts training. Soon, Sun Goiwan was left aside and all the attention was focused on number 16. Sun Weiyuan still reminded, don't wake him up during research. I'm going to go check on Goku. If you have anything, come find me. I'm leaving. Bulma was so absorbed in her research that she only responded with a gesture, lowering her head to study, wrench in one hand and screwdriver in the other, working smoothly with both hands. She's not going to disassemble number 16 into its parts, is she? Never mind, I can't understand it anyway. Goku, what happened to your face? I can't recognize you just by looking at your face. I got stung when I was trying to get a bee from the octagonal hive. Son Goku scratched the back of his head in embarrassment. No way, that kind of bee can hurt you? Are there still such ferocious bees on Earth? Sun Weiyuan didn't quite believe it and didn't bother to ask. He saw Grandpa, Shishi, and the taller Almond. Son Goku, do you really want to enter the Bagua furnace? Son Goku nodded without hesitation, and Xingren continued, well, let me tell you how to repair the Bagua furnace first. You already have the repair materials, and I've brought the banana fan too. When I open the Bagua furnace, Goku will use the banana fan to fan away the flames, and a passage will appear leading to the center of the furnace bottom. Go down the passage, quickly find the hole and repair it, and get out before the passage disappears. It's only a short time, and the space inside the Bagua furnace is not small. Seeing Goku entering the Bagua furnace, Sun Weiyuan was not worried at all. Instead, he looked at the Taishang named Xingren. He looked very young, but he was actually an old monster who had lived for thousands of years. You look like you're struggling. Do you want me to carry this big pot? The gigantic almond stood up. Old Sun Gohan was not much taller than her ankles. Sweat as big as a basin kept dripping down her face. Do you have that much strength? Xingren asked the tiny Sun Weiyuan. I think I'm still quite strong. Sun Weiyuan flew up to take over Xingren, just like a flying ant lifting a pot. Sun Gohan, your grandchildren are all very powerful. Sun Goku defeated her easily with one move before, and the one in front of him is also very powerful. Yes, Lord Xingren, they have been practicing hard since they were young and are very powerful. In just a few words, Sun Goku had repaired the Bagua furnace and instant transmission came out. They were about to leave when Xingren suddenly asked, Sun Gohan, I want you to be the guard of the 5 Elements Mountain. Are you willing? Oh, you're here again? Sun Weiyuan looked at him with great interest. Grandpa, are you going to agree to this? I do. The style of this painting is not quite right. It seems like the proposal scene. He agreed to work for someone without even discussing the conditions. Grandpa is not very supportive. Sun Weiyuan also knew that his grandfather didn't have as many miscellaneous thoughts as he did. The Five Elements Mountain was the place where the human world and the underworld connected, and it was easy for monsters, dead souls, and evil spirits from hell to appear. He agreed to stay because he wanted to contribute to the stability of the human world. By the way, if Grandpa and Almond have a subsequent relationship development, will Grandpa be the one who eats the young grass or Almond? If we only look at his height and appearance, Grandpa has made a lot of money. If we look at his age, Xingren has been managing the Five Elements Mountain for nearly 5,000 years, and Grandpa is only 98 years old. Old son Gohan gave his two brothers some instructions and then they lived in the Five Elements Mountain. Son Gohan respected his grandfather's choice and had no objection at all. Son Goku and Shishi returned to Baizai Mountain. Son Goiwan doesn't want to go back to Baizai Mountain for the time being because his younger brother just got married, and as a good brother he should give them some space. He also avoided the risk of eating dog food. He first went to Kame House to find Krillin, followed by Yamcha, Tien Shinyan, Jiaozi, and Piccolo. It was time for these 5 Earth Warriors to proceed to the next step of training. Chapter 59. Sun Weiyuan, where are you taking us to practice? Krillin said strangely, Piccolo, don't you know? Senior brother Weiyuan has practiced with Master King Kai before, but I don't know who King Kai is. He never told me. Piccolo was shocked. He had been practicing and studying with the Great Elder shortly after he was born, and he also knew that King Kai was a very high-ranking god. Seeing the looks of Krillin and the other 4, they had no idea what the word King Kai meant, but they did not explain it and stood with their arms crossed. Sun Weiyuan glanced at Piccolo, who was a little bit arrogant. He didn't have the wisdom and calmness that he had after merging with the gods, and he still had a weight on his shoulders. Not bad. Hold on tight, we're going to King Kai's planet. The 6 people instantly appeared in the sky above King Kai's planet. Krillin, Yamcha, Tien Shinyan, and Jiaozi's bodies sank and fell rapidly. After they reacted, they quickly adjusted themselves and landed steadily. Piccolo was not so lucky. The weight-bearing equipment on his body suddenly increased tenfold and hit the earth like a meteorite, causing the entire King Kai planet to tremble. Ouch! It hurts just watching it. Piccolo seems unable to get up. His headscarf is quite heavy. Fortunately, he is not seriously injured. Sun Weiyuan was suspended in the air, watching the whole process of Piccolo falling face down with his buttocks facing up. Piccolo took off all the weights on his body with great difficulty and jumped out of the pit easily, his breathing still a little rapid. Sun Weiyuan, why did you bring so many people here this time? I saw that you, Lord King Kai, were bored on King Kai's planet, so I brought them here to add some popularity to King Kai's planet and teach them some martial arts. And I think it won't be a problem for them to pass the test of the Snake Way. How about I send them to the starting point of the Snake Way? I set the rule that those who pass the Snake Path will have the opportunity to receive my guidance in practice, but I'm not that unkind. As long as each of them tells one more joke that can make me laugh, I will consider them to have passed the test. King Kai said slowly. You all heard it. King Kai is a god with rich knowledge of martial arts and many powerful moves. Accept the test. Several people looked at each other. We are here to practice, why is the test to tell 2 jokes? Krillin immediately leaned over to Goiwan's ear and whispered, did brother Goiwan and Goku really train here? And why do I feel so heavy? Of course, learn from King Kai, you will gain something if you learn. As for why your body has become heavier, it's because the gravity of King Kai's planet is 10 times that of the Earth. Krillin, Tien Shinyan, and Piccolo all felt embarrassed because they were not very good at telling jokes. Only Yamcha walked up to King Kai with confidence and said, put the quilt on your back. King Kai's mouth gradually widened, and his chubby hands couldn't cover it, ha 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 ha. Yamcha told 2 jokes very smoothly, but Sun Weiyuan didn't feel anything. However, King Kai laughed so hard that he couldn't help but be convinced. Krillin and Jiaozi went relatively smoothly, but Piccolo and Tien Shinyan had a harder time. They couldn't think of a joke for a long time, and in the end it was only after Yamcha gave them some advice that they passed. Piccolo wanted to turn around and practice on his own several times, but after feeling the terrifying aura of Sun Weiyuan at the scene, he was unwilling to be so weak. King Kai stood with his hands behind his back and said slowly, now let's start practicing. I have to warn you. My training is very hard. Woo-hee-hee. Haha. So funny, I'm telling jokes again. Piccolo and the other 5 looked at King Kai in astonishment as he laughed for no apparent reason. King Kai laughed awkwardly and then stopped, turned around and said, Go back. You have no talent and no sense of humor. Ha 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 ha. ×5 Yamcha held his stomach and laughed, with some tears of laughter coming out of his eyes, which looked somewhat real. Krillin, Tien Shinyan, and Jiaozi all laughed awkwardly. Tien Shinyan was so embarrassed that his entire bald head was covered in sweat, and Piccolo just grinned but couldn't laugh out loud. King Kai still followed the same training, first catching Bobris, then hitting Gregory with a hammer. Because Piccolo is so strong and has a habit of weight training, King Kai put training equipment on Piccolo's limbs, allowing him to walk but with difficulty. Sun Weiyuan went to the other side of King Kai's planet early to practice quietly. The purpose of his practice this time was to develop more powerful tricks. Kaioken. He did not use twice or more Kaioken, which is a state of complete control of the whole body's energy, which can also be called one Kaioken. One Kaioken did not cause the chi in his body to surge instantly, but it allowed him to reach a peak in his control over chi. The Kamehameha wave is a gathering of energy compressed in the palm of the hand, which is then released to attack the enemy after a period of concentration, greatly enhancing the attack power of Ki Blast. The advantages are obvious, but the disadvantages are also obvious, that is, it takes time to gather energy, and the opponent can attack you first. Of course, another way is to use instant transmission to dodge in the early stage, and use the ultimate move in the later stage. Goiwan's control over his ki is strong, and with the addition of double the Kaioken, releasing a Kamehameha wave of equal power can be almost instantaneous. Logically speaking, he should be able to easily release a Kamehameha wave that is twice or 3 times the normal level. But it didn't work. The normal Kaioken is to compress the chi in the body, making the power of the chi increase exponentially. However, as the power of the chi is enhanced, the pressure on the body also becomes stronger. If not handled properly, it will cause damage to the body. However, the cleverness of Kaioken lies in the fact that it not only increases the power of the ki, but also the speed, attack power, and defense of the body. But the higher the Kaioken's multiplier, the faster and more the chi leaks out, which is suitable for short-term battles. His physique is stronger than Krillin and others, but not as suitable for practicing Kaioken as Goku. Simply put, he wanted to use Kaioken's unique way of controlling the energy so that the energy would increase exponentially when performing special moves outside the body. At the headquarters of Frieza's army, Frieza listened with boredom as his men reported on the various situations of conquering planets. Sabo, what's the current situation with Vegeta and the Scions? Reporting to King Frieza, since 3 years ago, my subordinates have assigned them higher-level tasks. They have been seriously injured several times, but they have completed the tasks, and their strength has also improved a lot. Sabo answered respectfully. Send them to carry out a mission in the remote area where the powerful energy reaction occurs. It's okay if they die. They are just a few Scion monkeys. It saves me the effort. If they don't die, it's even better. Maybe I can get the information I want to know most. Frieza smiled sinisterly. Chapter 60. On an unknown planet, Raditz handed the blackened meat to Vegeta and Nappa. Nappa took a bite and said, Raditz, it's been so long, and your grilling skills and your fighting ability haven't improved at all. It's still so unpalatable. Raditz didn't say anything. Vegeta said, Nappa, just be content. It's your turn to grill the meat, but you can't even finish it yourself. Nappa touched his shiny bald head and said in a loud voice, Your Highness Vegeta, my fighting power is much higher than Raditz's. His fighting power is so low that he can't even grill meat properly. Isn't he just a waste? Raditz was used to it and didn't react much, as if it was expected. Vegeta said with disdain. Vegeta, you said Frieza. Vegeta stopped Nappa from talking any further with his eyes, pointed at the combat power detector on his ear, and turned it off. Nappa and Raditz also turned off their combat power detectors. Nappa, be careful with your words. The combat power detector is equipped with a listening device. If you want to die, don't drag me down. I know I was wrong, Vegeta. But do you think that BD Frieza wants to kill us? In the past 3 years, he has assigned us combat missions that are beyond our level. He used the Great Ape several times and still got seriously injured. Nappa became more and more angry as he spoke, his voice getting louder and louder. I don't think planet Vegeta was destroyed by a meteorite impact, it was destroyed by Frieza. Nappa, shut up. Idiot, do you think I don't know this? Our current strength is no match for Frieza. He has always been afraid of us Scions and the emergence of Super Scions. Only by becoming Super Saiyans can we have a chance to defeat Frieza. I will definitely become a Super Saiyan and kill Frieza and destroy his army. After a long time, they reopened the combat power detector and received the next combat mission sent to them by Sabo. It's really strange that this mission is so simple. Could it be that they saw that we completed the previous missions well and gave us an easy task as a reward? Nappa asked doubtfully. Vegeta snorted coldly, who knows what Frieza wants to do? It's definitely not a good thing. In the past, we Saiyans always sent newborn babies to such low-level planets. Is he trying to humiliate us? Nappa, among the low-level planets in this mission, go to the one that is very close to us. Your Highness Vegeta, that place is too remote. The nearest planet is planet M871, and it will take 9 months to fly there. After we've eaten, we'll set a destination for the ship and sleep for 9 months. Mr. Sabo, have you assigned the mission to Vegeta and the others? My subordinates have already given them the task. Sabo said, holding his chest with his right hand and bowing. Very good. There have been quite a few strong people appearing in our territory recently. I plan to train for 1 hour every day for the next year, and 1 day a month. A pig-headed man said, My lord, 1 hour a day, 30 hours a month, only 24 hours a day, 6 hours short. A beam of death pierced through the pig-headed man's forehead. Did I ask you to speak? Who taught these subordinates? They have no rules at all. A fat man with red skin said in panic, he is a new younger brother of my subordinates. He is a little stupid and hasn't learned the rules yet. I'm really sorry. Mr. Dodoria, go kill the subordinate who recruited this idiot. My Frieza Corps does not accept garbage. Sabo was full of contempt in his heart. What a fool. King Frieza just reduced his training time. Did he really think that he made a mistake? However, he is really brave. I have followed King Frieza for many years and I dare not say such a thing. Even a strong man like King Frieza feels the pressure. Is he going to start training to increase his combat power? As for Frieza, he had never considered training before. Even in his weakest form, he could travel across the galaxy. He felt that training to increase his strength was unnecessary. However, these sudden appearances of forces, each stronger than the last, made him feel a sense of crisis, so he came up with a training plan. After the plan is completed, he will still be the emperor who dominates the universe, Frieza. Ha 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 ha. Frieza's strange laughter spread throughout the Legion headquarters. 1 month later, Sun Weiyuan, who was training on King Kai's planet, divided his day into 3 parts, studying Kaioken in the morning, developing new tricks at noon, and absorbing vitality in the afternoon. During this period, he asked King Kai about the process of creating Kaioken and Spirit Bomb. The details included when King Kai had the idea of creating Kaioken and Spirit Bomb, the conception, improvement, perfection, and success, and even asked about King Kai's experience in each step. Brother, you are so cunning. You secretly brought people to King Kai's place to practice, but you didn't even call me. Hey, Goku? It's only been a month, why don't you stay with Shishi on Baizai Mountain? Sun Weiyuan hoped that Goku would not cause any trouble. There was no sign of his eldest nephew yet, and if he wanted to practice, he had to wait until Shishi got pregnant. Shishi, there's nothing wrong with that, but she just presses on me every night. Sun Goiwan covered Goku's mouth with his hand. Goku, that's a very private matter between you and Shishi. You can't tell anyone else. Brother, you are not an outsider. Anyway, don't tell anyone other than you two about that, otherwise Shishi will be mad at you if she finds out. Son Goku smiled awkwardly. Shishi was very nice to me and wasn't angry with me. I heard that she was pregnant and she wouldn't let me go in and sleep with her at night. The training effect of the 300 times gravity room became very poor. I felt your anger, big brother, so I came to see you. What? So soon? Goku, you're great. Our Sun family has a successor now. But don't be too proud. Keep up the good work. Sun Weiyuan said earnestly. Goku, you can put aside the training for the time being. Go and tell Grandpa the good news first, and then go home and take good care of Shishi. As for the training, after your child is born, I will take you to a place suitable for your training. That place is the Spirit Time Chamber of the Heavenly Temple. Goku was not allowed to go there before because he was still young and could not stay in the boring Spirit Time Chamber. Secondly, a person can only stay there for 2 years in his lifetime, which is equivalent to 2 days outside. After becoming a Super Saiyan, the benefits of entering there will be greater. Brother, can't you take me to practice now? No, your wife is pregnant, how can you not stay at home to take good care of her? Really, do you still want to have more children? Do you want to become a Super Saiyan God? Goku had no choice but to do as Son Gohan said and tell his grandfather Son Gohan that she was pregnant. Old Son Gohan was very happy when he heard this, but then he thought of his grandson Goku who didn't know how to take care of people. He also heard that his eldest grandson Goku had gone to King Kai's planet again, so he decided to ask for leave from his boss Zingren and go back to Baizai Mountain to take care of his grandson's wife. Chapter 61. It's a very strong and sharp aura. It seems that Wei Yuan is about to succeed. The speaker was King Kai. Sun Wei Yuan had asked him many questions in the past 10 months, and he felt a headache when answering some of the tricky questions. There was even one time when he felt that Sun Wei Yuan's questions were too out of the scope and he couldn't fool him. This problem student was too difficult to teach. Later, he had to ask King Kai for the answer. Piccolo, Krillin, Tien Shinyan, Yamcha, and Jiaozi also stopped their practice and looked quietly in the direction of Sun Wei Yuan. Gu, is this still the Kamehameha wave I know? Krillin swallowed hard. Ha! Just as the red Kamehameha waved, Son Goku suddenly appeared right in front of him. Son Goku was startled and quickly controlled the direction so that the ki blast deviated a little and passed by Son Goku's ear, burning some of his hair. Wow, that was a close call. I almost died. Brother, your move is amazing. Goku, you're not hurt. My goodness, your big brother just mastered his magic, and you rushed over to give yourself a head. What are you trying to do? You almost killed your brother to prove your truth. Son Goku said nonchalantly, Brother, Shishi is about to give birth, so I came to find you. What? Your sister-in-law is about to give birth, but you don't go find a midwife, but you go find your elder brother? I don't know how to deliver a baby either. Goku, you should go find a midwife. Sun Wei Yuan said helplessly. Who is the midwife? Where is she? Where's Grandpa? Because I'm fast, my grandfather asked me to find someone, and I immediately thought of my eldest brother. Krillin and the others who came closer immediately slipped and fell to the ground. They were so impressed by Goku and the others. I'll go ask Bulma if she can deliver the baby. Shishi is going to have a baby? But I don't know how to deliver a baby, my mother should have experience. Sun Wei Yuan quickly took Bulma and Mrs. Briefs to Baizai Mountain. Bulma and Mrs. Briefs went in to deliver the baby. The three of them stood outside the door, staring at each other. Old Son Gohan was a little nervous and couldn't sit still, but Goku was as steady as an old dog. He might not even know if there was any risk in giving birth. A loud cry broke the silence, "Wah!" The baby cried with ups and downs and a strong sense of rhythm. Goku, congratulations on becoming a father. Soon the door opened and the three of them went in and saw Mrs. Briefs bathing a baby. Bulma looked at the monkey tail on the baby's butt curiously and asked, That's weird, why is there a tail on the baby's butt? It's not strange. I also had a tail when I was a child, but later my eldest brother asked the gods to help me seal my tail. But, did you and Grandpa have tails before? Son Goku remembered that when he was training in the Temple of Heaven, he asked his eldest brother and grandfather whether their tails were also sealed. Later, he remembered that it was also his eldest brother's first time to go to the Temple of Heaven. Bulma also looked at Sun Wei Yuan. No way, did her Wei Yuan also have a tail? No. Both of us are orphans picked up by our grandfather, and you are the only one with a tail. As for why your tail was sealed, besides being your weakness, there was another main reason. It was a full moon night, and Goku, you would turn into a violent giant ape when you saw the moon. Son Goku thought of the story his grandfather and eldest brother told him, telling him not to look at the moon, but one time he peeked and scratched the back of his head in embarrassment. It's true what Tol said before that you were Scion. You even asked me if Burdock was our father. I didn't tell you because you didn't ask after we returned to Earth. Bulma suddenly interrupted, you mean Goku is an alien? Yes, Goku came here on a spherical spaceship from the universe. I asked King Kai for information about the Scions. You Scions live on planet Vegeta. You are a fighting nation. From the elderly to children, everyone likes to fight and destroy. You work under Frieza's army. How could there be such a brutal race? Bulma said with some lingering fear. So, the Burdock that Tolls was talking about is your father. Planet Vegeta was destroyed by Frieza himself. Only a few scions survived in the universe. You are one of the scions who survived. By the way, your transformed body covered in golden light is the super scion that appears only once every 1,000 years in scion legend. How is it? Goku, are you a little excited now? You have become a genius once in 1,000 years in the Scion clan. Seeing that the atmosphere was a bit depressing, Sun Weiyuan asked jokingly. To be honest, I'm really surprised. It turns out that you are not my real brother. How do you talk like that? It sounds like I always cheat you. Big brother, I and Grandpa raised you with all our strength. Sun Weiyuan slapped Goku on the back of his head. You only have one big brother, and that's me. Even if your biological big brother comes, he can only be second. Son Goku took a breath in pain. He felt that over time, the defense of the back of his head seemed to have improved a lot, and it didn't hurt as much as before. Looking at the baby with a wrinkled face, he said, he is really small. Is he a little too small? She was able to get out of bed soon after giving birth. Son Gohan lamented that martial artists had really good physiques and didn't even need to observe confinement after childbirth. He sent Bulma and Mrs. Briefs back to the western capital. Old Son Gohan decided to wait until his great-grandson was 1 month old before going to the Five Elements Mountain. Goku, your Scion clan worked for Frieza, but were destroyed by him. Why don't you go kill him and avenge your dead Scion clan? I don't know whether I should go or not. Son Goku was a little hesitant. He had lived on Earth since he was a child and did not have much sense of belonging to his people on planet Vegeta. He was also disgusted by the brutal behavior of Scion. Let me tell you, Goku. Although those Scions are not good people, they are far inferior to Frieza's insidiousness and brutality. He has more subordinates than just you Scions. He has destroyed countless planetary civilizations. For the peace of the universe and the harmonious development of human civilization. Goku understood Sun Goiwan's earnest guidance at first, but became more and more confused as he listened. Suddenly, King Kai's telepathic voice was heard, Goiwan, Goku, I heard everything you said. No, Lord Kai was spying on us again. Did you peek when we were in the bathroom? I'm the god in charge of the Northern Galaxy. I'm busy with work and have neither the interest nor the time to watch how you poop. King Kai roared angrily. I'm just kidding. Lord Kai, your state of mind still needs to be honed and improved. Sun Weiyuan said lightly. Oh? Really? Then I'll tell you a piece of news. Since Frieza's army has been wreaking havoc in the Northern Galaxy for many years, I've been keeping an eye on him. Not long after you fought the android on Earth, he seemed to have started training. Although he only trains 1 day a month, over the past 10 months, that is, 10 days of training, his strength has improved rapidly. I can no longer see through his strength. Sun Weiyuan exclaimed, almost jumping up, Weiyuan, your state of mind is not cultivated enough. Chapter 62. There is one more thing. Frieza seems to be very interested in you. He has sent many of his men to collect information about the area where your Earth is located. When Frieza completes the 1-year, or 12-day, training plan, I estimate that he will go to you first. Sun Weiyuan's eyelids twitched when he heard this. Frieza, this lazy guy, actually exercised? Fortunately, he is really a lazy guy. He only exercises 1 day a month. Now he has only exercised for 10 days. Without the strong driving force of hatred, the effect of Frieza's training would be greatly reduced. In this case, there is no need to worry too much. He has another immature idea, find Frieza's lair, instant transmission over there and give their planet a full-strength ki blast. The secret technique of surviving in a vacuum for a short period of time that he obtained by making a wish to Shenron on Namek came in handy. After the planet of Frieza's army headquarters exploded, Frieza would be seriously injured even if he didn't die. Then he can harvest the remaining blood. Doesn't Frieza like to watch the scene of planet explosion? This is called following Frieza's path and leaving him with no way to go. It seems a little inappropriate. I should change my clothes and cover my face to prevent anyone from shooting at me. It would be bad if some villain secretly attacks the Earth one day. Sir King Kai, next time you have to tell me something so important earlier, otherwise your outstanding student might be killed someday. Young people just can't keep calm. I said I couldn't see through Frieza's strength, but I didn't say Frieza was so strong that he couldn't be fought. Goiwan, if you don't unleash your full power, I won't be able to see through your strength. Ha 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 ha. I'm telling a joke again. When did King Kai start to be a little naughty? He felt that King Kai was a little abnormal today. Hey, maybe he was another person who was led astray by Goku. But Goiwan, don't be careless. Frieza's talent is terrifying, but he is a little too confident. He has never exercised since he was born, which has caused him to be unable to control all of his strength. It will definitely take some time for him to control that power before he can increase his strength. Son Goku and Son Goiwan instant transmission went to King Kai's planet, where they could sense Frieza's presence more easily because the location of Earth was too remote. During this period of time, there were not many strong people in the northern galaxy, and even fewer who were both powerful and evil. He easily sensed 4 very evil auras. The 3 auras were somewhat similar. If he guessed correctly, they should be Frieza, King Cold and Cooler. There was also a very evil aura that was very obscure, very similar to the demon aura of Piccolo Daimao that he had seen before. If Sun Weiyuan had not felt that the breath was somewhat familiar and the evil demon breath was very pure, he would have ignored it, because compared with the breath of Frieza's family, this breath seemed too weak. Sun Weiyuan was a little confused. His eldest nephew had just been born, and it was too early for Slag, who had an evil heart, to go to Earth. One of the auras went in the direction of Namek, and the other 2 auras did not move. Who went to Namek? Something is wrong. Lord King Kai, lend me your back. Wu Yuan, what the hell are you doing? Sun Weiyuan was speechless. King Kai was such a lazy person. Not only did he not take care of things, but he also didn't pay attention to collecting information. If possible, he wanted to complain to King Kai's boss. Then again, there don't seem to be many reliable gods. King Kai is not to be mentioned. The great King Kai likes rock music and dancing. East King Kai is not doing his job properly. The old Supreme Kai is lustful. Gods of destruction Beerus is greedy and sleepy. King Kai sensed a strong and evil presence in the direction of Namek. He wanted to see who it was. It's the direction of Namek, right? Let me see. Really, it's Frieza's elder brother Cooler. Strange, he had left the North Galaxy before. When did he come back again? King Kai wiped the sweat off his forehead. He was too focused on Frieza and forgot to observe the situation on other planets. Why do these bastards like to come to the North Galaxy to cause trouble? Goiwan, Goku, you have to wipe out this group of people this time. King Kai said a little madly. Sun Weiyuan rubbed his brows. Everything is messed up. The bosses don't come one by one to give Goku experience, then just kill them all. Wow, big brother, your perception is so sharp. If you hadn't told me, I wouldn't have noticed any evil aura approaching the Earth. Now I can only vaguely sense it. I'm leaving the evil Namek man Slag on Earth to you. End the battle as soon as possible and don't let him destroy the Earth. Sun Weiyuan reminded. We can't go to Frieza's headquarters for now, so we have to deal with Cooler's army and Slug's army first. Cooler has one more transformation than Frieza, so Goku is no match for him at the moment. Even though Slug is a super Namek with an evil heart, he is old, and the 7 Dragon Balls on Earth have not yet recovered, so Goku should be more than enough to deal with them. Master Brother Weiyuan, is the Earth in danger? Krillin has not called him by his name since Sun Weiyuan asked him to call him Master Brother. Why? Krillin, you want to go back and play too? Krillin nodded seriously and said, we have been training for so many years and have yet to fight these universe people. Okay, you have trained enough with Master King Kai. It's not a good idea to keep training hard. If you want to go back, ask Goku to take you there. Slug has a few capable subordinates and a bunch of small fry. The silent Piccolo suddenly said, I want to go back to Namek. No problem, Cooler is mine and his men are yours. At this time, Cooler's universe spaceship has landed. Go, I'll give you 10 minutes to collect all 7 Dragon Balls. Hat, Cooler, that idiot, he doesn't even know he's a Namek. How can the Dragon Ball on Earth compare to the Dragon Ball from the Namek's homeland? A few years ago, the spirit tree was intercepted by someone, so he secretly arranged for his men to investigate. Last year, his men reported that a new powerful energy reaction was discovered in a remote area of the northern Milky Way. Cooler immediately combined the two and speculated, the mysterious man who obtained the spirit tree was afraid of being discovered by a strong man like him, so he chose to plant the spirit tree in a remote area of the northern galaxy to quietly increase his strength. When he discovered that it exceeded his energy response, he marveled at the power of the fruit of the spirit tree. In just a few years, the mysterious man's power surpassed his, but he still sent his men to investigate the situation. Later, some of his men collected information about the Earth and discovered the legend of Dragon Ball. The elder of Namek slowly opened his eyes and said, "The future scene has changed. The enemy is no longer Frieza, but Cooler. Why can't we see who the strong man fighting Cooler is? But thanks to him, Namek can avoid the fate of destruction." Chapter 63. As soon as Cooler's men got out of the spaceship and had no time to take off, Sun Weiyuan and Piccolo appeared above them. "Hey, you blue-skinned yellow-haired guy over there, tell your King Cooler to come out and die, and then you can commit suicide," Sun Weiyuan said to Shaoza in a calm tone. Zaviza, Nez, Dre, and a bunch of other small fry burst into laughter. "Boy, you are so arrogant. I, Zaviza, want to see how strong you are. 5,250, wow, your strength is not bad, but it is still rubbish. Let me see the one with green body like Dre. Piccolo, you can start now." After saying that, Sun Weiyuan instant transmission entered the spaceship. Piccolo nodded and his aura rose. Zaviza's combat power detector exploded instantly. Nez, Dre, and a group of small fry all looked at Piccolo. All their combat power detectors exploded. Piccolo said coldly, "Namek is not a place for you to come, all of you go to hell." With a high-speed kick, he kicked Zaviza, who had a combat power of 170,000, away, and then blew him into pieces with a ki blast. Nez, who had a combat power of 163,000, and Dre, who had a combat power of 185,000, broke out in a cold sweat and opened their mouths wide. The little shrimps were like flies on a cow's butt, flying around in all directions in a panic. "You are the white and purple race without clothes. You must be Frieza's elder brother Cooler. Who are you? Are you here to steal the Dragon Ball?" Before Sun Weiyuan could answer, Cooler's eyes suddenly emitted two purple destructive rays at Sun Weiyuan. Sun Weiyuan, who was mentally prepared, dodged it easily, thinking that Cooler was indeed insidious. "Interesting, you actually dodged it, that's not easy. You were the one who stole the fruit of the spirit tree a few years ago." Cooler stared at Sun Weiyuan vigilantly. Sun Weiyuan instant transmission came in front of Cooler and hit Cooler on the forehead with a straight punch. It would be rude not to reciprocate. Cooler could attack him by surprise, and he could also hit back. Cooler's body smashed the spaceship and plowed a wide and long furrow in the ground. For a moment, the dust was flying and Cooler's figure could not be seen. How shameless! He plowed such a long field without a scratch. The smoke cleared and Cooler transformed into his fourth form, which was his strongest form, with a combat power of 470 million. Although Sun Weiyuan has been training on King Kai's planet for 10 months and has a deeper understanding of vitality, his strength has increased a little faster, but it has only increased from 310 million to 400 million. The combat power gap is more than 17%, and he cannot be defeated under normal circumstances. Just in time. Sun Weiyuan flew high into the sky. He wanted to use Cooler to test the super Kamehameha wave he made, a triple Kamehameha wave, which was equivalent to a Kamehameha wave with full strength under the triple Kaioken state. Seeing Sun Weiyuan flying higher and higher, Cooler also flew into the air and fired a Qigong bullet at Sun Weiyuan's back, and was about to hit him. Sun Goiwan instant transmission went behind Cooler, triple Kamehameha wave. Cooler was pushed out of Namek by ki blast and blew to pieces. He flew into the air only to let Cooler chase him and use the triple Kamehameha wave to avoid affecting Namek. The entire Cooler was blown to pieces, not even half of its head was left. You can't possibly turn into a metal Cooler again. The only drawback is that it only turned into slag and not ashes. Sun Weiyuan clapped his hands, looking at the shattered and scattered Cooler with satisfaction. Piccolo's battle is very simple, no different from killing a kid with one punch. Dre, the strongest under Cooler, is only 185,000 strong, while Piccolo had a combat power of 400,000 before he went to King Kai's planet to train. Piccolo's power increase is not as great as Krillin and others, but Sun Weiyuan estimates that he has at least 1 million combat power. Rather than saying that Piccolo is fighting, it is better to say that Piccolo is pinching the human grasshoppers flying around to death, and he is no match for him. When seeing Piccolo kill the last person, Sun Weiyuan asked, "Piccolo, do you want to stay in Namek or go back to Earth? By the way, the enemy we are going to Earth this time is the Namek people." "My people?" "Yes, just like the Celestial, he is a child who was sent away from Namek hundreds of years ago. He is a rare super Namek, and he also has an evil heart." Sun Weiyuan said hello to the elder and left via instant transmission. I didn't expect Weiyuan to be so powerful. Piccolo's power has also become much stronger. The elder muttered to himself, while Nalu waited quietly by the side. King Kai also saw the battle situation on Sun Goiwan's side. Great, Cooler was easily dealt with by Goiwan, and the mecha troops were also wiped out by Piccolo. But Goku's speed is a bit slow. Goku seems to want to force Slug to use all of his special moves. Goku brings Krillin, Yamcha, Tien Shinyan, and Gyoza back to Earth. Report to King Slag, our whereabouts seem to have been exposed, and no overly powerful energy reaction has been detected. Then there is no need to hide. The astral ship will move forward at full speed and crash into the Earth. Scientists on Earth also observed a planet crashing into the Earth. Once the information was released, the whole world fell into panic. When the planetary ship approached the Earth, Goku and the other four fired ki blast together to forcibly change its flight trajectory, causing the planet to pass by the Earth. A spaceship landed on the Earth. Yamcha laughed and said, I think this guy named Slag is really a show-off. He actually drove a planet to the Earth. Slag ordered his men to transform the Earth into a new starfaring ship suitable for the survival of the demons, and then got off the spaceship with a group of his followers. The spaceship took off and flew into the atmosphere. Black clouds rolled and spread rapidly, trying to cover the entire Earth. Kill them. Slug's 5 subordinates, Angela, Dorotapo, Kishu, Kigu, and Big Eyes, led a group of younger brothers and attacked Son Goku and his 4 companions aggressively. Son Goku killed Angela with one punch. Slug, they are no match for me, fight me. Slug's 5 capable subordinates were not very strong, all with a combat power of around 10,000. Krillin and Tien Shinyan fought them easily, but Jiaozi had a hard time. Yamcha was too careless in the battle, and Dorotapo used his special move to split into 4 small physical clones, which took the opportunity to stick to Yamcha's body and desperately absorb his energy. By the time Yamcha struggled to break free, most of the energy in his body had been absorbed. Tien Shinyan and Krillin defeated their opponents almost at the same time. Big Eyes, who was suppressing Jiaozi, was killed by Tien Shinyan, and Dorotapo was cut in 2 by Krillin's Ki Yuan Zhan. Goku and Slug were left fighting back and forth, and it was hard to tell who was the winner, forcing Slug to use his giant form. Then Son Goku transformed into a Super Saiyan and fought Slug on equal terms. After coming back, Sun Weiyuan was stunned. He thought, brother, you are really amazing. You are going further and further on the road of 50-50. Chapter 64. The giant slug punched Son Goku again and again, but even though his giant size increased his strength, he was still weaker than Goku, and all his attacks were taken. Slug opened his mouth and blasted out a huge energy cannon, but Son Goku didn't dodge and hit back with a Kamehameha wave. Goku, if you don't defeat Slug quickly, I'm going to take action. Sun Goiwan didn't want Goku to push him too hard and destroy the Earth with Ki Blast. Although he had Namek Shenron strengthen the Earth, he didn't know how strong the attack the Earth could withstand. Brother, don't do anything. Let me fight for a while. Sun Weiyuan was a little speechless. Piccolo, what do you think of this Namek man Slag down there? A very strong, orthodox demon with an evil heart. I'm not asking you that. I'm asking if you have any feelings for Slag. Sun Weiyuan said jokingly. Piccolo misunderstood Sun Weiyuan's meaning and said calmly, we Namek people don't need 2 people to reproduce. Sun Weiyuan, you must know that. You usually seem quite decent, but I didn't expect you, Piccolo, to be so frivolous. Do you want to find a boyfriend or a girlfriend? Sun Weiyuan said with a wicked smile. Humph. Piccolo turned his head away, obviously not wanting to bother with Sun Weiyuan anymore. If he was strong enough, his fist would definitely have hit Sun Weiyuan's face with a roar. I remember that you Namek people have a special ability to assimilate each other. I'm curious, after assimilation, do you fuse the 2 personalities or just eliminate one of the personalities? Sun Weiyuan was indeed a little unclear. He only remembered that the Namek people had the ability to assimilate, and that the personality of the god seemed to be integrated with Piccolo's personality. Assimilation is our ultimate trump card to quickly improve our combat effectiveness when facing an enemy we cannot defeat. It is led by one of us, and the other person volunteers as an opportunity to increase energy. It will not affect the personality of the leader. Piccolo explained to Sun Weiyuan. From Piccolo's explanation, Sun Weiyuan came to a conclusion that there was good news and bad news. The good news is that if Piccolo can assimilate with Slug, Piccolo will not be infected by Slug's evil heart and become a demon again. The bad news is that Slug cannot be forced to the ground to let Piccolo assimilate him. That's really a pity. A guy like Slag would never voluntarily let you assimilate him even if he dies. A great opportunity to enhance your strength is gone again. Sun Weiyuan shook his head and said. Piccolo was also very moved when he heard this. If he really assimilated and absorbed Slug's energy, he might have a chance to surpass the two brothers Son Goku and Son Goiwan in one fell swoop. Then he could beat Son Goku and Son Goiwan up, especially Son Goiwan, who he would have to beat up longer. At this time, Slag's strength was almost exhausted. He lay on the ground seriously injured, and he didn't even have enough energy to recover from his injuries. Goku released his Super Saiyan state and did not deliver the final blow to Slug. But it's not completely hopeless. Maybe we can give it a try. Sun Weiyuan grabbed the Piccolo instant transmission and left the scene. Then he said to Piccolo, let's do this first, then that. Then he instant transmission replied, brother, should Slag be sent to Namek for the Great Elder to deal with, or should he be killed directly? I'll take care of it. Sun Weiyuan took out a magic bean and walked towards Slug. Since he wanted to try to assimilate Piccolo, he definitely couldn't let Slug die like this. Krillin couldn't understand, so Yamcha whispered, hey, Krillin, are you thinking of letting this evil and scary guy go after healing him? Brother, are you going to let him go? Slug lying on the ground was delighted when he heard this. Foolish fellow, when I, King Slug, regain my youth, I will kill all of you. Everyone on earth must die, including the 7 Dragon Balls. Sun Goiwan gave a senzu bean to the dying Slug, and Slug's injuries were all healed. He stood up and looked vigilantly at Sun Goiwan and Son Goku who defeated him. You won't kill me? Slag asked nervously. You can also say that your injuries should have recovered. Sun Weiyuan said with a smile on his face. Slag showed ecstasy, turned around and wanted to leave, but Sun Weiyuan stopped him and said, I didn't say I would kill you, but I didn't say I would let you go either. Are you kidding me? Slag felt like a clown at the moment. He used to like playing tricks on his enemies and liked to see their terrified and desperate eyes. Don't look at me like that. I'm not a bad guy. You are the villain. I have other things to do, so I won't chat with you for now. Sun Weiyuan took out an electric rice cooker slowly. Brother, are you preparing to cook? I'm really hungry after fighting for so long. Son Goku stroked his belly up and down with one hand. Sun Weiyuan said indifferently, yes, yes. I plan to boil this slag into a pot of old pork rib soup to nourish your body. Brother, this can't be eaten, right? Let's stew it first and decide whether it can be eaten when the time comes. Sun Weiyuan said seriously. Krillin and his companions quickly distanced themselves from Sun Weiyuan and looked at Piccolo with strange eyes. Slag almost had a heart attack when he heard this, and he yelled, damn it, you dare to treat me as food. You, don't come over here, or I will commit suicide. You can scream, but no one can save you even if you scream your throat out. It's just right to commit suicide so that your body can be put into the pot while it's still hot. Just accept your fate, King Slag. Sun Weiyuan walked towards Slag step by step with a smile. The latter was sweating profusely and backed away step by step. What an evil smile! As a demon, he has never had such an evil and terrifying smile. Come into the rice cooker obediently, Mo Feng Wa. A green tornado controlled Slag, get in. With a whoosh, Slag was thrown into the rice cooker. Put on the lid and put on the talisman. Krillin said tremblingly, Weiyuan big brother, do you really want to make soup from him? Sun Weiyuan said sinisterly, didn't you see everything? I'll light a fire and boil some soup to feed to you, Krillin. You're lacking nutrition and you can't grow taller. As your senior brother, I have to take care of you. Tisk, of course I'm just teasing you. It's just stewing a demon. It's nothing. If I stew a big purple cat someday, you'll be scared to death. Krillin needs to practice his courage. Krillin and the others breathed a sigh of relief. Big brother, what was that magic seal you just used? Why haven't I seen you use it before? Master Wu Tian's secret weapon is specially used to seal powerful enemies. Krillin, you have been practicing with Master Wu Tian for so many years and you didn't know it. Chapter 65. I'm done with this matter. I'm going to go to the universe to eliminate a group of people. If you want to go, please sign up. Sun Goiwan temporarily cancelled his plan to destroy the planet and seriously injure Frieza, and decided to test Frieza's strength first. If you can defeat Frieza, kill him. If you can't defeat him, use the manhwa. If that doesn't work, use instant transmission to leave. Finally, use the planet destruction plan. Goku Piccolo said without hesitation that he wanted to go. Krillin hesitated for a moment but finally decided to go. Yamcha didn't want to go because he almost suffered a fatal blow in the previous battle. Tien Shinyan wanted to go very much, and looked at the dumplings. Tianjin, I'll wait for you to come back on Earth. Well, Goiwan, I want to fight in the universe with you too. Klin suddenly said, let's leave quickly, otherwise it will be troublesome if the reporters gather around us. The press corps? Great. Take this opportunity to get in touch with these reporters and spread the word about this matter. There is no need to hide the abilities of martial artists too much. It would be good to let people on Earth know the truth about the world. Yamcha, it wouldn't be a bad thing for you to contact these reporters and let the world know about us martial artists. Sun Weiyuan wanted to increase the influence of martial artists on Earth, so that if he needed to use the spirit bomb in the future, he could condense it more quickly and smoothly. Everyone looked at Sun Weiyuan in confusion. Don't look at me like that, I'm just making plans for the future. You also know that the spirit bomb move requires gathering energy. Although this trick can collect energy from flowers, plants, trees, humans, animals, and even planets in the sun, it still takes too long. And the object of collecting energy is preferably a higher life form like humans. However, if others don't know you, they may not be willing to lend their energy to you to create a spirit bomb. People like me and Goku who are so low-key are naturally not suitable to be the spokespersons for martial artists. Piccolo's image is all green, and the audience is scared. Krillin is not tall enough and does not look strong. So the most suitable person is Yamcha, who is suitable in terms of height, appearance, and personality. Sun Weiyuan inadvertently praised Yamcha. After all, Yamcha's height and appearance were not bad, otherwise Bulma would not be obsessed with him in the original book. Yamcha was a little flattered when he heard it. Don't worry, Weiyuan, I will take care of this task. Son Goku, Piccolo, Krillin, and Tien Shinyan instant transmission went to the Frieza Corps headquarters, and Jiaozi also left, leaving Yamcha alone. A group of police, reporters, and the public soon surrounded Yamcha. Hello. I am a reporter from XXX. May I ask your name, sir? Hello everyone, my name is Yamcha, and I'm a very strong martial artist. Mr. Yamcha, do you know what happened? Were those dead people aliens? Did you do it? And what about the planet that was about to collide with the Earth? Sun Goiwan and his 4 companions appeared on the planet where Frieza's army was headquartered, Ice Planet. They were discovered as soon as they appeared. Who are you? The soldier was killed by Sun Goiwan's ki blast before he could finish his words. He then looked at the other soldiers and said, I'm here to mess things up. Don't say I didn't give you a chance. Call out all the people from Frieza's army within 3 minutes. Goku, Krillin, Piccolo, Tien Shinyan, and others had sweat on their foreheads. They were clearly here to uphold justice and punish evil, but now it seemed that Goku was more like a villain and they were accomplices. Lord Frieza, it's bad. 5 powerful men are coming to attack us. One of them has a combat power of over 1,000,000. Oh, ho 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 ho. Interesting, is there anyone who dares to attack my Frieza army? The 5 members of the Jinyu force immediately came out and formed a formation, performing a beautiful dance for Frieza without any embarrassment. Ho ho ho, special forces, ha ha ha. Special forces. Jinyu, oh my god, yet. Frieza, Sabo, Dodoria, and the others were silent, with awkward expressions on their faces. Lord Frieza, the Jinyu force requests to go into battle. Frieza flew outside in a floating stroller. Well then, Jinyu, you will lead the others to fight. On the other side, Sun Weiyuan said to Piccolo and the others, there are 2 ice demons on this planet, Frieza and King Cold. They are both very powerful, so leave them to Goku and me. Frieza's army has a Jinyu force, which consists of 5 people. Piccolo, Lin and Tien Shinyan are very powerful, so you should keep an eye on them when the time comes. There is one more thing you need to pay attention to, Piccolo. Although the Jinyu force is not very strong, the Captain Jinyu has a trick that allows him to exchange bodies with his opponent. It is best to kill him in one move first. King Cold, who had been retired behind the scenes for many years, was also alarmed. There was nothing he could do, so Sun Weiyuan and his men attacked his lair. Soon, King Cold, Frieza and a group of younger brothers appeared in front of Sun Goiwan and his 4 companions. Krillin, Tien Shinyan, Piccolo, I think it's okay to leave those guys to you. Sun Goiwan didn't hear a response. Piccolo looked disdainful, and Krillin and Tien Shinyan were too shocked to speak. Don't be afraid, Krillin. Let me ask you, how many people are on the other side? Too many to count. If not 100,000, at least 7 or 8,000, Gilu. How many of you are there? 3. Then what are you afraid of? Beat them up. If you die, I'll find 7 Dragon Balls to revive you. Piccolo snorted, you only need to deal with enemies that are much weaker than you. Leave the rest to me. Have you detected the combat power? Which one has a combat power of over 1 million? King Frieza, the one covered in green. King Cold said, this kind of combat power is rare, Frieza, try to recruit him as your subordinate. I know, Dad. Goku, turn into a Super Saiyan, we seem to be ignored by the other party. Sun Goiwan found that Frieza and King Cold were staring at Piccolo, and lamented that Piccolo's bright skin color made it easy to attract attention wherever he went. Brother, aren't you going to fight before you transform? Son Goku asked uncertainly, scratching his cheek with the tip of his index finger. No more playing. My eldest nephew was just born and I have a lot of things to deal with at home. I'd better finish playing and go home for dinner. As soon as he mentioned eating, Goku felt hungry. Brother, do you have any food? I'm so hungry after fighting with Slug. I really can't do anything with you. The fight is about to start. It's too late to give you instant noodles. You can eat this senzu bean. Son Goku eats the senzu beans and originally wanted to warm up with that King Cold first, but under Sun Goiwan's gaze, he turned into a Super Saiyan. At the same time, Sun Goiwan exploded with all his strength and Frieza and King Cold shifted their attention from Piccolo to Sun Goiwan and Son Goku. What is the combat power of the two of them? Great. Great King, they are 180 million and 400 million respectively. Chapter 66. King Cold couldn't believe his ears. Are you sure it's 180 million and 400 million? Is the equipment not broken? No. King Cold has abdicated for many years, and the Legion has been handed over to his youngest son Frieza to manage. When did 2 such powerful people appear in the universe? Even though he is the father of Cooler and Frieza, his combat power is less than 120 million, which is weaker than his 2 sons. Unlike King Cold, Frieza looked much calmer. After training, his strength had increased several times. His combat power had already exceeded 120 million. With a combat power of 400 million, he was still confident that he could defeat his opponent. King Cold said rather arrogantly, "What are your names?" Son Goku gave his name without hesitation, and Son Goiwan had no choice but to say his name as well. Ha ha ha, very good. Son Goku, and Son Goiwan, the patriarch of my frozen demon clan, King Cold, is willing to accept you as his adopted sons. Call me daddy. Sun Weiyuan's face was a little dark. My goodness, Frieza called himself the Emperor of the Universe and dominated the universe, and King Cold also had the hobby of calling himself Dad Universe. They are family, and they are really father and son. But King Cold, you can take advantage of anyone else, but you have to take advantage of me. What else can I say? Goku, take King Cold away from me. You can hit him as much as you want, otherwise I'm afraid I will slap him to death, and then you will have no opponent. Goku heard this and an instant transmission appeared behind King Cold, but before the other party could react, a hand was placed on his shoulder and the instant transmission moved away from Sun Goiwan. Are you kidding? If his eldest brother said he would slap King Cold to death, he might really do it. He himself was slapped on the back of the head many times, let alone his enemy. Frieza said very gentlemanly and elegantly, Mr. Son Goku, several powerful energy reactions appeared in the remote areas of the northern galaxy last year. You and Mr. Son Goku should be among them. Haha, what an honor. I didn't expect that my brother and I would be noticed by you, King Frieza. Now that you know our fighting power, why aren't you nervous at all, Frieza? Haha, Mr. Son Goiwan, you are indeed very powerful, but with only 400 million combat power, you are still not my opponent. How about joining us and becoming my subordinate? Frieza gave a weird smile and invited Son Goiwan. To be honest, the purpose of my brother and I coming here this time is to kill you and King Cold, or be killed by you. Sun Weiyuan shrugged and said indifferently. Oh? Ho 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 ho. That's a bit of a pity. Can I only kill you, Mr. Sun Weiyuan? Sun Weiyuan asked curiously, King Frieza, since you know our fighting power, you should understand that your father King Cold is no match for my brother. If you wait any longer, King Cold will be killed by my brother. Don't you care about your father? Ha 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 ha, it's better if he's dead. He's so weak, and yet he's always bossing me around. If he dies, the Frieza army will only obey my orders. After Mr. Son Goku kills him, I will thank you. Otherwise, I don't know how long this old thing will keep ordering me around. Ho ho ho, to express my gratitude, I will let you die miserably. I am avenging my dear father. Ho ho ho. Frieza said with a sinister smile. On the other side, the 5 members of the Jinyu force performed their team's perfect entrance ceremony in front of Krillin and Tien Shinyan. Both the enemy and us were caught in a weird atmosphere. Only the Jinyu force was working hard to complete the entire entrance ceremony. Piccolo couldn't bear to watch it anymore. Super explosive magic wave. The appearance ceremony of the 5 members of the Jinyu force had not yet been completed when a mushroom cloud rose from where they were, with smoke and dust billowing. When the smoke cleared, the Jinyu force were no longer visible. Humph! That's an ugly dance. Sun Goiwan reminded Piccolo that he had to kill Jinyu in one move, but Piccolo exceeded his goal and killed the entire Jinyu force in one move. Krillin and Tien Shinyan were ashamed. Among the enemies, the 5 they were most worried about were simply destroyed by Piccolo in one move. King Cold and Goku fought fiercely. Goku forced a 50-50 fight and beat King Cold so hard that his body was covered with skin wounds and his strength decreased a lot. But Goku didn't kill King Cold, and they continued to fight each other at high speed. Oh my! King Frieza, your favorite subordinates, the Jinyu force, were accidentally sent to hell by Piccolo's move. It looks like the battle over there with your father, King Cold, will continue for a while, but if you wait any longer, your beloved subordinates will be killed by Piccolo. What a bunch of trash! We can just recruit some more if they all die. Frieza also began to lose his patience, and a red beam of death shot out from his index finger and hit Piccolo's back. Sun Weiyuan took a look and determined that it was not aimed at Piccolo's head, so he did not stop it. He instant transmission went behind Frieza and slapped him on the back of the head quickly and urgently, Lord Frieza, sneak attacks are not a good habit. Nanny. Frieza was a little slow to react. Before he could block with his arms, Nappa's palm hit him on the back of the head. With a crisp and loud bang, Frieza was knocked flying and crashed into more than a dozen buildings before stabilizing his body. As expected of a frozen demon clan, this skull is really tough. It has smashed so many buildings, but it is still so smooth and bright, without any damage. I forgot that it has no hair. Frieza was furious and gnashed his teeth. His elegance and calmness disappeared, replaced by a ferocious look. How insidious! He said sneak attacks are bad, but he still attacked me. Piccolo was pierced through the chest by the death beam suddenly fired by Frieza, leaving a finger-sized hole with a wisp of smoke coming out, but no blood flowed out of the wound. Damn Goiwan, didn't he say that he would deal with Frieza alone, and the other subordinates were the targets of him, Krillin, and Tien Shinyan? But why was he suddenly pierced through the chest? Sun Weiyuan, can't you be more reliable? If the chest was pierced through the head instead, Piccolo would really be dead. Damn Frieza, why did you attack me instead of killing Sun Goiwan first? Piccolo was really angry. I can't beat you too, but can't I kill those little shrimps? He used up some of his energy to recover from his injuries, and then he chased thousands of people and fought them alone, using powerful and merciless moves. All the elite warriors of Frieza's army were frightened, and no one dared to face Piccolo. Krillin and Tien Shinyan didn't know what was going on. They were being besieged by numerous enemies and were struggling. Suddenly, their opponents ran away and no one paid any attention to them. Tien Shinyan, what happened to them? Chapter 67. Krillin, look over there. Krillin looked in the direction Tien Shinyan said. With the help of his aura perception, he could only vaguely catch a glimpse of a green figure. He muttered, Piccolo? We just agreed that he would deal with enemies with equal or greater strength than us, and the other 2 would deal with us. Why does this guy look so angry? Which idiot from Frieza's army went to provoke Piccolo? Magic flash. Demonic sky wave. Magic light flashes in the sky. Piccolo crossed his hands, gathered a large amount of energy, and released it all at once. The energy swept in all directions and fell on the soldiers indiscriminately. The soldiers of Frieza's army turned into ashes with screams. The soldiers who survived by chance were those who were far away from Piccolo and were able to escape. Humph! Piccolo glanced around coldly, stood proudly with his hands folded on his chest, and the white cloak behind him fluttered in the wind. Krillin saw that the area several thousand meters around Piccolo was razed to the ground. He patted his chest with his right hand and thanked, fortunately we are far enough away from Piccolo, otherwise we would be the ones in trouble. Next time when I watch Piccolo fight, I must keep a safe distance from him. Tien Shinyan nodded woodenly. What kind of monsters were these that he encountered? Sun Weiyuan and Son Goku were powerful, and now there was a Piccolo. When could I catch up with them? Unlike Tien Shinyan, Krillin didn't care much. The key point was whether he could become stronger. He no longer wanted to catch up with Sun Goiwan and the others. Those small fry, Tien Shinyan, Krillin, go and kill them. I'm not interested in taking action against them anymore. King Cold, I've seen all your moves. It's time to end it. Kamehameha Wave. King Cold's eyes were filled with fear and his body was shaking as he was submerged in the Kamehameha Wave. Sun Weiyuan noticed that King Cold's energy disappeared. He was a little surprised that Goku could actually kill his opponent so decisively. Good brother, it's worth your years of teaching. Frieza, as you wished, King Cold went to hell, and most of your Frieza Legion soldiers are dead. You are now no different from a commander without troops. Why don't you use all your strength? Mr. Sun Weiyuan, I was originally planning to play slowly with you. After all, there are very few warriors as powerful as you in the universe. It's a pity that you are so determined to die, so I will satisfy you. Wow! Frieza, who was still talking, was hit hard in the abdomen by Sun Goiwan's punch. Lord Frieza, when fighting you have to keep your eyes and ears open. You've been talking too much, hehe. When Frieza kept talking, Sun Weiyuan used double Kaioken. The words Frieza was about to say were stuck in his throat. Damn it, you sneak attack me again. You make me really angry, ha! Purple flames burst out, the earth shook and cracked, rocks flew everywhere. Krillin and Tien Shinyan, who were chasing the remnants, were startled. Their bodies gradually stopped flying at high speed and stood still in the air. This energy is so strong, even stronger than senior brother Weiyuan's. Triple Kaioken. Goiwan's aura once again overwhelmed Frieza, but it was also limited in strength. Sensing Frieza's breath, Sun Weiyuan thought to himself, just 10 days of training has increased his strength to this level. It seems that Frieza's combat power is probably 1 billion. Sometimes hard work is really helpless in the face of talent. Frieza pointed his index finger at Sun Goiwan and a purple beam of death shot out. Sun Weiyuan dodged sideways, and a smoking hole appeared in the rock next to him, followed by more death beams that shot towards him like raindrops. Instant transmission, Sun Goiwan appeared behind Frieza, leaning back against him, and forced a height comparison. The 1.5 meter tall king was immediately outshined. Frieza, what grade are you in this year? What? Frieza, you have to eat more in the future. You won't grow taller. You're looking for death. Sun Weiyuan grabbed Frieza's tail with one hand, swung it up and smashed it back and forth on the ground, making a pit deeper, and dust rolled. Krillin was speechless. This battle is not what I imagined, a 300-round battle. Let go. No. Sun Weiyuan, can't you try another trick? Do you dare to put me down? How shameless. He grabbed onto the tail and refused to let go. He didn't know how many times he had hit the ground. One move is enough to deal with you, why bother changing moves? Frieza forcefully threw 2 cutting discs, and Sun Goiwan immediately let go and dodged quickly. The battle was stalemate for a long time, and Goiwan also roughly learned Frieza's 2 special moves, the death beam and the cutting disc. Frieza, since you have no other tricks, it's time to send you to reunite with King Cold. Oh, I forgot to tell you that your dear brother Cooler went to hell a long time ago, and now you are the only one left. As he said that, Sun Weiyuan took out a senzu bean and put it in his mouth without rushing to swallow it. Quadruple Kaioken. Wonderful waves. Frieza was originally weaker than Goiwan, but Goiwan had eaten senzu beans during the battle, so his physical strength was basically at its peak. Now using the quadruple Kaioken, his strength increased dramatically. After a long battle, Frieza's strength was almost exhausted. Facing the more powerful Goiwan, he could only be blasted into pieces by the Kamehameha wave, and he didn't even have the chance to destroy the planet. After killing Frieza, the moment the quadruple Kaioken was released, a backlash came. Sun Goiwan immediately swallowed the senzu beans in his mouth, and the pain disappeared immediately, and all his strength was restored. Frieza is dead, and the trick I wanted has been learned. Now the next thing is to deal with Slug. Sun Goiwan took out the rice cooker that contained Slug, and Krillin, Tien Shinyan, and Goku who gathered around him were very confused. "Brother, are you really going to stew Slug? Just watch, don't say anything for a while." Opening the lid of the rice cooker, Slag quickly came out, covered in sweat and breathing heavily. "Slag, I'll give you a quick death by assimilating with Piccolo." "I don't know what you mean by assimilation." Sun Weiyuan pointed at Piccolo and said, "Don't you think he looks a lot like you?" "That's right, he is from your tribe. It's a pity that you have lived for so many years and still don't know that you are a Namek." "Impossible. Even if I die, I will never assimilate with him." Slug roared hysterically. "To be honest, I didn't expect you to agree so easily." Chapter 68. Sun Weiyuan whistled, and Slag felt a sharp pain in his head, and Piccolo also covered his head. I forgot, Piccolo, you're afraid of this too, so let's try another method." Slug, will not surrender. Grow giant." "It's useless to become giant, isn't it just a bigger target?" Sun Weiyuan looked at Slug with disdain, turned to Goku, Krillin, and Tien Shinyan and said, "The following scene is not suitable for children. Goku, take them two back to Earth." "Brother, what are you going to do to Slug? Hurry back and take care of your sister-in-law and nephew. Why are you asking so many questions?" Sun Weiyuan urged. After Son Goku and the other two left, screams were heard from the ice planet. Slug, will never surrender, Kill me, please give me a quick death." After more than 3 hours, Slag was tortured to the point of confusion, and he had no chance to commit suicide or blow himself up. "Wait a minute, Sun Weiyuan, is the assimilation of the Namek people really the fusion of the power and soul consciousness of the two people?" "Of course. No one knows assimilation better than me. After two Nameks assimilate, their strength can be increased several times or even 10 times. If the power of two people is simply added together, there will not be such a significant increase. The fusion of energy is only an opportunity for improvement. The fusion of your energy and spiritual will can trigger the sublimation of the soul, break the physical confinement, and develop potential." It's hard to tell whether Slag is telling the truth or not. What he said makes a lot of sense. Fusion doesn't seem to be something difficult to accept. His own strength was far greater than that of the young Namek next to him. When the two spiritual consciousnesses merged, he would definitely be the dominant one. Moreover, he is old, and Fusion's young body can help him regain his youth. It is better to live a miserable life than to die. No matter how difficult it is, he will grab the glimmer of hope no matter how difficult it is. How to assimilate? But I don't want you to assimilate with Piccolo. You are so strong and there are too many Piccolos. After the two of you assimilate, you might be the leader and become stronger to oppose me. If I kill you, it will be difficult to explain to the great elder of Namek. If I don't kill you, I don't know how much trouble it will cause me. Slag, how about I just kill you directly?" Piccolo next to him was speechless. "Sun Weiyuan, what on earth are you trying to do? You spent so much effort to torture Slag and finally fooled him, but you changed your mind. Are you afraid that I will surpass you?" When Slag heard this, his last bit of doubt was dispelled, and he immediately said, "I promise you, I will never be your enemy after assimilation." "Haha, even if your strength becomes several times stronger after assimilation, you are still no match for me. Why do you think I let you assimilate with Piccolo? It's because I'm too invincible. Even Frieza, who is known as the Emperor of the Universe, was killed. How lonely it is to be invincible. You don't understand my loneliness. That's why I want to create an opponent for myself." The unconscious Slag was stunned after hearing this. Piccolo covered his face, tilted his head 45 degrees to look up at the sky, and shouted in his heart, "Sun Weiyuan, stop talking, if Slag comes to his senses our plan will be ruined." "Slag, do you want Piccolo's young body or your body that is about to be buried?" "I want the younger one." Slag answered without thinking. "Nice, when you assimilate, Piccolo will need to put his hands on you. Just lie still and let Piccolo do it. It will be done soon. Piccolo, get started." I want to become younger." There was a burst of light, and Slug disappeared completely, merging into one with Piccolo. Piccolo took a few deep breaths and said, "I succeeded. This power is amazing. I am invincible." King Kai, who is far away on King Kai's planet, has been observing the battle between Sun Goiwan and his companions. Sun Goiwan is really a tough guy. Damn it. The spirit bomb I created requires warriors with pure and kind hearts to learn. Seeing him torture and deceive Slug, he doesn't seem like a person with a pure and kind heart. But he learns the spirit bomb more than 10 times faster than Goku. Damn it. Piccolo, how do you feel? Sun Weiyuan stepped forward and knocked here and patted there to check Piccolo's body. Piccolo clenched his fist, turned his neck, and suddenly punched Sun Weiyuan in the abdomen. Caught off guard, Sun Weiyuan flew out and crashed into several mountains, and his clothes were torn. Piccolo, what's wrong with you? Why did you attack me? Damn Piccolo, what does it mean that I give you advice and make you stronger so that you can attack me? Could it be that something unexpected happened during the assimilation, and Slug's personality broke the normal assimilation rules and really fused with Piccolo's personality, and even took the dominant position? If that's the case, then there will be trouble. Should we capture the god and merge him with Piccolo to offset his evil side? Ha ha ha. Sun Weiyuan, you now have come to this day. I have wanted to beat you up for a long time. Now I finally have the chance. Be good and don't move around so you can get less beaten. I will let you taste my invincible power. At this moment, Piccolo's self-confidence was stronger than ever, and his words revealed his irrepressible excitement. With such a powerful force, he can't be bullied by Sun Weiyuan. Ha ha ha, I have been looking forward to this moment for too long. Sun Weiyuan is going to be beaten into a pig's head. I will beat him once every 3 days. So that's how it is. From a combat power of over 1 million, it instantly increased to several hundred million. The power increase of several hundred times gave you a great illusion in your life. I am invincible. 2 hours later, Piccolo was lying on the ground with a look of despair on his face. It's impossible. With my powerful strength, how could I not be able to defeat Sun Weiyuan? Compared with the physical injuries, the mental blow is more serious. Assimilating a slug who is hundreds of times stronger than oneself can be said to be a shortcut. But why couldn't he beat this earthling of mediocre descent? He couldn't even imagine how long it would take him to have the power he has now if he practiced step by step, but he still lost. Piccolo, you don't have to take it too seriously. Think about how old you are this year. Are you 5 years old? If you were on Earth, you would still be just a child, at an age where you should act cute and coquettish in front of your parents and elders. Don't be so strict with yourself. I've practiced for so many years, and I've crossed more bridges than you've walked. You need to look forward. When I was the same age as you, I was far behind you. Piccolo looked at Sun Weiyuan with a blank expression and distracted eyes. Even though I am no match for him, I still can't help but want to punch him in the face. Chapter 69. Ha ha ha. Great. This Earth scientist named Dr. Gallo is truly a genius. With the cell fusion technology and android technology, plus my research on mutant robots, we can surely create an unprecedented ultimate weapon. The cells of the strong ones collected by Dr. Gallo, as well as the cells of the frozen demon clan, the Namek people, and the cells of Sun Goiwan and Sun Goku. They will allow my research results, baby, to transform and evolve, and I can also officially begin to cultivate the ultimate artificial human designed by Dr. Gallo. Scion, be prepared to accept the wrath of revenge from us, the Zivol people. After destroying you, I, Dr. Mayu, can carry out my plan to dominate the universe, ha 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 ha. On Baizai Mountain, Piccolo sat at the dinner table with a gloomy face, exuding an air of decadence and lack of desire. Son Goku leaned over to Sun Goiwan's ear and whispered, "Brother, what happened to Piccolo?" "I don't know. He's in a bad mood. Maybe someone has hit him hard." The voices of the two brothers talking clearly reached Piccolo's ears. He snorted in dissatisfaction and buried his head in eating. Even though the voice was lowered, the distance was so close that even old Son Gohan and Shishi could hear it, not to mention Piccolo, a Namek with extremely keen hearing. "Brother," Piccolo suddenly became so powerful. "I feel he is much stronger than me. Has Slug really assimilated with him?" Son Goku rarely buried his head in his food. Instead, he curiously asked about the situation. Only things related to fighting could affect Goku's enthusiasm for eating. "It's obvious," otherwise there's no reason why Piccolo's power would surpass yours so quickly. But Shredder refused to surrender before. How did you get him to agree to assimilate with Piccolo? The process is a little complicated, but to put it simply, there are only 8 words: appeal to their emotions and enlighten them with reason. Piccolo, who was concentrating on eating, suddenly coughed violently, and the food in his mouth sprayed towards Sun Weiyuan. Sun Weiyuan seemed to have anticipated this and dodged flexibly. Hey, Bulma. Weiyuan, come here for a moment. I have already repaired the android number 16 that you gave me to study last time. Sun Weiyuan yawned and said lazily, it's already very late. I'll go there tomorrow. I'm really tired after several battles today. That's such a pity. I just took a shower, and my parents are not at home tonight. They have something to deal with at the company, and they won't be back until tomorrow afternoon at the earliest. The sleepiness disappeared in an instant. Give me 10 seconds, I'll be there soon. Sun Weiyuan instant transmission appeared next to Bulma, glanced at Bulma in pajamas, looked around and found that this was her laboratory. Goiwan, you're coming pretty fast. I've studied all of number 16's information. A lot of it contains information about you and Goku, including fighting styles, habits, special moves, etc. You can say that number 16 was created specifically to target you and Goku. But don't worry, I modified some of his programs and cancelled the mission to kill you and Goku. Also, I found a bomb inside him that could blow up the entire Earth. It was too dangerous, so I dismantled it. Also, I studied a flying insect that looked very similar to a fly, and accidentally contacted the Galactic Patrol headquarters. It turned out that the insect was called a reconnaissance rocket, and it was sent by the Galactic Patrol to collect information about the Earth. Bulma, are you familiar with the Galactic Patrol? No, I met a Galactic Patrolman named Jark when I was 5 years old. Then my sister and Jark went on adventures in the universe to find inspiration for writing. Bulma told Sun Weiyuan the whole story. Her sister Taisai was really brave. An ordinary girl from Earth who was just 16 years old dared to follow Jack to adventure in the universe. Bulma, are we getting off topic? Sun Weiyuan reminded. Hehe, Weiyuan, let's play a one-on-one duel game. Isn't it a bit inappropriate to play games in the lab? That's fine, you can play wherever you like. Let me make it clear that I'm very strong and I won't show mercy in a one-on-one fight. The game starts, and the system prompts, you challenged Bulma to a duel, and Bulma accepted. You activated the warrior skill Armor Break. Bulma counterattacked and activated Armor Break on you as well. Both of you are armored to 0. You activated your skill Crane Control and Dragon Capture. Bulma is unable to resist your Crane Control and Dragon Capture. You use this skill to attack Bulma's weak spot. You used your fatal ultimate move Gun Out Like a Dragon on Bulma, and Bulma's health was reduced by 1. Congratulations, you got the first blood. Bulma is not to be outdone and has charmed you. Your resistance to charms continues to decrease and you have entered a berserk state. You performed a Shadow Dash 6666 combo on Bulma. Bulma requested to surrender, but you decisively rejected her surrender and launched another 998 hit Shadow Dash combo. Bulma once again requested to surrender, and you cruelly rejected it again, launching a crazy shooting at her, and Bulma was completely defeated. Congratulations to player Sun Weiyuan for winning. Sun Weiyuan asked with a lingering look, Bulma, do you want to play another one-on-one game? This game is addictive. Once you start playing, you become addicted and cannot extricate yourself. Games are fun, but don't get addicted to them. Pay attention to your physical and mental health. It's already daybreak, let's go back to our rooms and catch up on some sleep. A green leaf fell down and covered Vegeta's head squarely. He patiently took away the broad green leaf on his head. How could a green leaf suddenly fall on my head? Nappa, what is the next planet we are going to? Vegeta, it's a low-level planet called Earth. Nappa said truthfully. Raditz suddenly remembered that he had a younger brother named Kakarot. Because his combat power was only 2 when he was born, he was rated as a low-level soldier, and the planet he was sent to occupy seemed to be the Earth. Vegeta, my brother Kakarot seems to be on Earth. Maybe he has killed everyone on Earth. Can he join us? You mean your brother who was born with a combat power of only 2, a low-level soldier, whose combat power is even worse than yours. If he joins us, he will only be a drag. Nappa said disdainfully. Vegeta said indifferently, although his combat power is very low, if Great Ape comes, he can still help us a lot. I can let him join. After all, we are the only scions left. Vegeta and his 2 companions have killed people from several planets in succession. At this moment, they don't know that Frieza's headquarters has been wiped out by Goiwan and his group. They are still working diligently to complete the task of occupying the planet for Frieza, and no one has notified them at all. In other words, the people who were able to inform them all had a certain status in Frieza's army, and now almost all of them are dead, and only the soldiers who were on a mission survived. Chapter 70. On Baizai Mountain, Son Goku woke up in the morning and ran excitedly to Sun Weiyuan's room, but did not see a single person. "Grandpa, have you seen my brother?" Son Goku was still thinking about Sun Goiwan's promise to take him to practice. Since Shishi was pregnant, his brother asked him to wait until the baby was born before he could go to practice. But he waited day after day, and his child was reluctant to come out. Finally, the child was born yesterday. Today, he must ask his eldest brother to take him to practice. "I haven't seen Goku either. He might have gone out for something. Goku, go find him. Ox King will be here soon, and we need to name the child." "Okay, I'll go find some big brother's anger." Yet I found it. In a large villa in Zidu, Son Goku and Bulma had just laid down in the room and had not yet fallen asleep when Son Goku instant transmission appeared in the room. He looked at Sun Weiyuan and Bulma sleeping in a daze, scratched the back of his head. It was already dawn, why didn't his brother get up? Without thinking too much, he shouted, "Brother, get up!" Sun Weiyuan was startled and opened his eyes suddenly. His heart beat faster, as if he had done something shameful and was feeling guilty and panicked when being discovered. "Fortunately, I have the habit of covering myself with a quilt when I sleep, otherwise I would have lost a lot of money today." "Hey, this unfortunate brother, he already has a child, but he is still so stubborn and doesn't understand when to be cautious." Bulma's head rested on Sun Weiyuan's arm and shrank into the quilt, her soft and smooth body pressed tightly against him, her mind in a trance. "Goku, get out first." "Ah? Oh. Don't forget to close the door too, Bulma, you should get some rest. I'll ask Goku what he wants from me." "Goku, why are you here to see me so early in the morning? Also, don't be so reckless next time. You can't use instant transmission to come to my room directly when I'm sleeping, no matter how big the matter is." Son Goku lowered his head like a child who had made a mistake, accepting the criticism and education from his parents. After Sun Weiyuan finished speaking, he said, "Grandpa asked me to find you and prepare to give the child a name." "Hey?" Sun Goiwan frowned as he was naming his nephew. This was a bit difficult. His grandfather Sun Gohan was still alive, so it was inappropriate for his nephew to be named Gohan. On second thought, this was not something he should worry about, as he had his grandfather, his nephew's grandfather Ox King, his biological father Goku, and his biological mother Shishi. If that didn't work, he could just invite Piccolo as well. The matter of naming would not fall on him as the eldest uncle, and his brows immediately relaxed. I seem to have found a small problem. Grandpa and Ox King are of the same generation. Shishi should be 1 generation older than Goku, so the eldest nephew and his father are of the same generation. Goku, you go back first, I'll be there later." "Oh, okay." After Goku left, Bulma slowly poked her head out from under the covers. "Goku's gone." Bulma breathed a sigh of relief, but she was no longer sleepy. She got up and tried to put on her clothes, but her bones felt like they were falling apart. Seeing this, Sun Weiyuan said with a half-smile, "Can Bulma still get out of bed? It's all your fault. I've already surrendered, but you still want to continue." Bulma's face was flushed, and her voice became smaller and smaller. The rest of her words were so soft as a mosquito that Sun Weiyuan could hardly hear them. "This is not my fault. Someone has always liked to stir up my temper. Over time, it has become a volcano that could erupt at any time. I can't control it. Hehe, all your past experiences of playing with fire are recorded in my little notebook. You have just paid off 1 bill, and there are still dozens to be paid. But there is still a long way to go, so there is no need to rush." Bulma lying on the bed was not a problem, so Sun Weiyuan fed her a magic bean, and she immediately revived and pounced on him with her fangs and claws. He really has no memory. He originally planned to have a long time to come, but Bulma took the initiative to repay the debt, so of course he accepted it without hesitation, but he consumed another senzu bean. On Baizai Mountain, Ox King arrived and several people were waiting for son Goiwan to come back. Goku, didn't you go and call Goiwan? Why hasn't he come back yet? Brother said he would be here later, I don't know why he hasn't come back yet. Did you see what Goto was doing at Bulma's house? No, I didn't do anything. When I went there, I saw Big Brother and Bulma sleeping. Son Goku answered truthfully. So that's how it is. Old Son Gohan's face was filled with a gratified smile when he heard this. This kid Wei Yuan finally got it. Sorry, I'm late. Brother, you are finally back. I am starving. Grandpa, let's have breakfast. Goku was so excited. His stomach had been growling for a long time and it was finally time for dinner. After breakfast, old Son Gohan hugged his great-grandson and said, we need to give this child a name now. Goku, Shishi, have you thought of a name for him? Shishi raised an index finger and said seriously, I've already thought of a name for this child. Ox King circled his index fingers together, looking surprised and a little disappointed. He had been preparing for a long time, but he didn't expect that his grandson would not need the name he came up with. Have you thought of a name yet? Just call me Einstein. Einstein. Times 4 only Son Wei Yuan was not surprised. Bulma asked curiously, Shishi, Einstein is the name of a great scientist, and all of you are outstanding martial artists in the world. Shouldn't this child be given a martial artist's name? Bulma, you've already said it, our family is full of martial artists, that's enough. I want him to be a famous scientist in the future, and I won't forbid him from practicing martial arts. Shishi's current living standard is pretty good, and Goku gave most of the pirate treasure that Son Goiwan obtained a few years ago. Goku was not interested in these, so he handed them all over to Shishi to manage. She did not have the idea that martial artists had no future at the moment. Wow wow! Son Gohan saw his nephew crying loudly, tears streaming down his face, be good, don't cry. Son Gohan immediately frantically coaxed his great-grandson in his arms, Shishi, it seems that the little guy doesn't like this name, let's change it. Then let's call it Arukame, okay, Arukame. Shishi leaned close to the little guy and said. Wow, woohoo! This one won't work either. Dad, what name do you think is good? Ox King smiled widely, turned around, opened a bundle and said, I have thought of many names for him, ha ha ha. Taking out a rolled-up roster and spreading it out, Son Wei Yuan took a quick glance and exclaimed, wow, there were at least several hundred names, all beginning with the word Bull Demon. Get ready, I'm going to read it. Bull Demon Taro, Bull Demon Jiro, Bull Demon Saburo. Bull Demon Yan, Bull Demon Doctor. Wow! Dad, the name you gave me is not good either. No. Ox King said with some regret. Son Gohan couldn't be comforted anymore, so Shishi took the child and coaxed him for a long time before he stopped crying. Grandpa, you were the one who named Goku and me. Why don't you give this little guy a name too? Son Wei Yuan suggested at this time. Well, then I'll give you a name like Goten. Wow! It seems that this still doesn't work. Wu Yuan, why don't you try giving him a name? Son Wei Yuan racked his brains for a long time, but it was hard to come up with a name, so he gave up. How about Vunanj? As soon as he finished speaking, the little guy started crying again as expected. It would be better to leave this question to his father. Son Wei Yuan instant transmission called Piccolo and said, you have nothing to do anyway, why don't you come over and help us come up with a name for the little guy? Piccolo's green face was a little confused. He was thinking about life. Why bother him just to name this little thing? Hey, this little thing looks pretty cute, so I reluctantly thought of a nice name for it. That beautiful devil. Pucci Son Wei Yuan couldn't help laughing. Piccolo, how did you come up with this name? In an instant, Piccolo's green face looked even greener. If this biological father is not good enough, just change another one. Goku, we already said it's your turn to name the little guy. All eyes turned to Son Goku. I'm starving. We can have lunch now. Everyone was speechless, only the little guy smiled happily to give face to his father. Shishi scolded, Goku, it's not time to eat now. Besides, didn't we just finish breakfast? But I'm really hungry. Then you have to give the child a name before you can eat lunch. Son Wei Yuan saw his eldest nephew smiling like a flower and reminded him, look, the little guy is very happy when you mention lunch. Ox King also noticed it and said tentatively, it's time for lunch. Haha. Lunch. Ha ha ha. Shishi, look, it's real. Goku looked at Shishi, can I order lunch? Shishi shook her head decisively, no, my classmates will make fun of me if I call it lunch. At this time Son Gohan said, since the child likes this name, change to and call him. Chapter 71. The eldest nephew stopped crying and the name was decided. Although Shishi was not very satisfied with the name Wu Fan, he didn't say anything more. Ox King insisted on his own idea that Wu Fan was not as nice as Niu Mo Taro. Tisk. Piccolo reserved his opinion. They were a bunch of bad namers. They ruined a child that I thought was adorable. Nami Big Devil is so good. It inherited the first two characters of our Namek people. Big Devil is also my father's title. Are you a martial arts fan? This name is neither nice nor domineering. It feels like he is neither good at literature nor martial arts. Not good. Sun Weiyuan was also quite regretful. Vunanj, what a good name. It let his nephew know what he can and cannot do. Studying and becoming a scholar is good, but this world is still a world where strength is respected. He thought to himself, I think my nephew's aptitude for martial arts is even better than his father Goku, and he has the potential to surpass the gods of destruction. If I cannot guide him on the path to becoming a god, it will be a great regret for me as his uncle. I've messed around. Feeling a poke in his body, Sun Weiyuan turned around in confusion and saw Goku rubbing his palms expectantly. Brother, where is the suitable place for training you mentioned? Goku, even if I tell you, you can't go now. Sun Goiwan spread his hands helplessly, signaling Goku to look back at the angry Shishi, and tell him not to ask any more questions. We don't need to rush. Brother, are your eyes uncomfortable? Why can't I go? I have wanted to go for training for a long time, please tell me quickly, okay? Goku was unaware of Shishi, who was behind him with a gloomy face and almost out of control. Ox King and Son Gohan acted as if nothing had happened, making the little guy giggle, while Piccolo crossed his arms and watched with a gloating expression. I can't take care of this little brother, so I'd better sell it. Goku. I don't mean to criticize you, but Shishi went through 10 months of hardship and gave birth to my nephew yesterday. It's really inappropriate for you to go to practice today. You have to wait until Take Nori is 1 month old before I take you to practice for 2 days. Shishi went out to practice for 2 days a month after hearing what he said. He accepted it in his heart and his face showed signs of clearing up. 2 days? That's too little time, brother. What can you cultivate in 2 days? It will pass in the blink of an eye. How long do you want to be out for? Shishi suddenly asked. It will take at least a year. 2 years would be even better. Goku answered subconsciously. Wukong. You are not allowed to go anywhere before the baby is 1 month old, or I will never cook for you again. Shishi. Goku lowered his head and poked his 2 index fingers together. Hey. Shishi raised his eyebrows and glared with his almond-shaped eyes, and Goku looked at his good brother for help. Sun Weiyuan made a helpless expression. It's not that big brother doesn't want to help you, but the opponent's firepower is a bit too strong, and you have exposed your fatal weakness, a big appetite. Shishi cooks delicious food, and you are a big eater. Some people say, to capture a man's heart, you must first capture his appetite. I have mastered this trick to perfection. I can help you for a while, but I can't help you forever. You'd better take care of yourself. Don't worry, after your nephew's full moon, I will take you to the spiritual time house in the Temple of the Gods to improve your skills. Sun Goiwan suddenly remembered that if Goku completed the training in the Spirit Time Chamber, he would most likely be surpassed and it would be difficult for him to be the big brother. Therefore, while Goku is at home accompanying Shishi in her confinement period, he goes to the Spirit Time House to practice for 2 years in order to improve his strength in his martial arts realm. Even though he and Goku are far stronger than Sensei Buten, they are not necessarily as good as Sensei Buten in terms of martial arts realm. Sun Weiyuan stayed at Bulma's house for 5 consecutive days. Weiyuan, get up quickly, my sister will be back soon. He opened his sleepy eyes and stretched his tired body. He had been feeling sleepy since he had been very tired in the past few days. The reason was not that his kidney water was insufficient at such a young age, but that Bulma's passion for that thing was beyond his imagination. If it was a fair fight, he would certainly not be at a disadvantage, and he was confident that he could suppress 2 Bulmas. But, the woman has no moral principles. She only allows herself to eat the senzu beans to replenish her physical strength, but does not allow him to eat the senzu beans to replenish his energy. He vaguely remembered Bulma looking at him with admiration and saying to him affectionately, "Wei Yuan, you are so strong and powerful, you don't need to eat senzu beans, right?" Of course he said without hesitation, "Yes, how can a man say he can't do it?" Facing a woman whose combat power is only 2000, and who was barely raised by external force, he couldn't lose his momentum. The result is that strategic materials such as senzu beans should not be underestimated, and women should be even less underestimated. Sun Wei Yuan yawned while brushing his teeth and washing his face. Only when the cool tap water was poured on his head did he feel a little better. At this rate, I'm afraid the few senzu beans I have won't be enough to help Bulma. I'll go to Namek and find Shenron some other day to make 3 wishes for senzu beans. Or maybe one day in the future, I can go to the Supreme Kai world and try to see if I can grow senzu beans on a large scale there. It should be possible, because that is the Supreme Kai world. A place where spirit trees can grow. Plant 1,800 acres of senzu beans. By then, let alone breaking it in half to use, it is possible to open a senzu brand soy milk and tofu shop, so that Bulma can drink soy milk every day, and he doesn't need to worry about not being able to supply it. Sun Wei Yuan, Bulma, and the briefs couple were waiting in the yard for Taisai to come back. "Bulma, why does your sister Tais suddenly want to come back?" Tais left when Bulma was 5 years old, and has been wandering in the universe ever since. Not to mention coming back, she rarely even contacts her family. This story started with you giving me a mechanical flying insect to study. Later, didn't I discover another kind of flying insect? I studied it for a long time before I realized that it was a detection rocket sent by the Galactic Patrol. I improved the communication tools and contacted Jack, one of the members of the Galactic Patrol whom I knew. I told my sister what happened on Earth. She happened to be not too far away from Earth, so she came back to collect materials for her writing. Soon a beetle-shaped spaceship landed, and Sun Wei Yuan saw a man who looked like Ultraman coming out first, followed by a mature blonde beauty. Sun Wei Yuan knew that this person was Bulma's 11-year-old sister, Taisai, a writer who had not returned home for many years in search of creative inspiration. Chapter 72. Bulma walked over and hugged Taisai. "Sister, it's been a long time since we last met. I missed you so much." He leaned close to Taisai's ear and whispered, "But sister, your chest seems to have become smaller. I don't have the feeling of hugging you like when we were little." The sound was very low, but Sun Wei Yuan, who was very strong, still heard it. "Oh my goodness, sisters meet, Bulma hits people with the ball when they have a disagreement, is it okay? No, it's a ball battle. Don't look at what is indecent, don't listen to what is indecent, don't say what is indecent. I am a simple and honest gentleman, a gentleman, food and s*x are human nature, just take another look, is it against the law to look at beautiful women? Okay Bulma, you're not a kid anymore." After greeting her parents, Taisai looked at Sun Wei Yuan. The man her sister liked was indeed very handsome. She greeted Sun Wei Yuan openly, "Are you Bulma's boyfriend?" "Hello, my name is Taisai, I'm Bulma's sister, and I'm a writer. I'm Sun Wei Yuan. I'm sure Bulma has told you about me. I'm a decent martial artist. The guy next to you must be your friend." Jack, who was leaning against the spaceship, performed a set of very showy moves when he heard someone mention him. "I am Jack, a member of the Galactic Patrol, an elite selected from thousands of people who protects the peace of the galaxy." The briefs were calm, Taisai was used to it, but Sun Wei Yuan and Bulma looked embarrassed. "Bulma, do you feel that you are very unsophisticated and immature?" Bulma crossed her arms, shrank back and replied, "I have goosebumps all over the floor. I have been giving my sister a hard time for so many years." The corners of Jack's mouth twitched twice. "You two really have no aesthetic sense at all. Zack, are you wearing a tight suit or are you naked? Forgive my poor eyesight, I can't tell the difference." Sun Wei Yuan pulled Jack's skin. "Mr. Sun Wei Yuan, I am from the Galaxy Patrol." "I know. Your name is Zack, and you're an elite member of the Galactic Patrol. So you're in your original skin like King Frieza, and you don't wear any clothes. It's Jake, not Zack." "I understand, Zack, but how did you appear near the Earth?" Sun Wei Yuan looked at Jake with a smile. It was strange enough that the Galactic Patrol selected people. Jake's height was not even as tall as a student in the upper grades of an elementary school, but he could actually rank among the top 3 in the Galactic Patrol. Jake has looked up information about Sun Wei Yuan and believes that he is not a warrior with a strong sense of justice, but an earthling who is a bit sinister, likes to cheat others and is violent. Although the combat power of their galactic patrol headquarters is not outstanding, they are experts in collecting intelligence in the galaxy. He has seen several battles of Sun Weiyuan, especially the torture of Slug by Sun Weiyuan on the Ice Star, which was so cruel. Not only was he tortured to death, but he also didn't even know he was deceived when he assimilated with Piccolo. As an elite who maintains peace in the galaxy, he even sympathized with the evil Slug. So, the moment he saw Sun Weiyuan smile, Jake felt a chill on his back. It was such a familiar smile, and it was similar to the smile that Sun Weiyuan showed before he was about to trick someone in the information given by the headquarters. Goo. Sweat drops as big as beans kept falling down. The more Jack thought about it, the more scared he became. His body was shaking like an old man at the end of his life. Jacques, is this question difficult to answer? Look at you, you are sweating and shivering, are you cold or have a fever? Girls should smile in a gentle manner without showing their teeth, but of course, Sun Weiyuan's heroic smile would reveal his 2 rows of white teeth. Mr. Sun Goiwan, sir, the Earth is within my patrol range. I have received news that 3 scions under Frieza are active in this area of the Earth and have wiped out humans on several planets. According to the time, they will come to the Earth today. Jack finished his words with some stammering. Scion? Interesting, my brother's clan is coming, hee. When Jack heard that Son Goku, the younger brother of Son Goku, was also a scion, he immediately thought of the scion he was responsible for killing more than 10 years ago. I didn't expect that because of my mistake, that scion not only survived, but also became so powerful. If the King of Galaxy knew about it, there would be a high probability that I would be expelled. But it's not his fault, because his spaceship broke down at that time, and when he arrived at the place where Son Goku landed, there was no one there. Jack thought that Son Goku didn't seem to be as cruel as other scions, and was even more righteous than the Sun Goiwan in front of him. He should have a chance to make up for his mistakes. Sun Weiyuan sensed that there were indeed 3 auras approaching the Earth at a very fast speed. They should be Vegeta, Nappa and Raditz. They came a little early. The eldest nephew was only a few days old and is not yet 4 years old. The 3 of them probably don't know that Frieza's headquarters has been destroyed. However, what we have to consider now is whether to kill all 3 of them directly or keep them. Killing them is the safest option right now, but if Goku is not strong enough in the future and there are not enough nephews and nieces, the birth of Super Saiyan God will become difficult. Is there any big brother in the universe who is as good to his younger brother as I, Sun Goiwan? The term good brother is tailor-made for him. Right now, Vegeta and the other 2 are not very powerful and can't cause any trouble. It will take some time to grind down their brutal personalities. Mainly, he also wants to witness the Super Saiyan form of Bald Nappa, and whether Raditz can transform into Super Saiyan 3. Bulma, would you be interested in going to see the 3 scions together? Me? Is it okay for me to go together? It's not a big deal. One of the scions might not be able to defeat you. Besides, with me here, they can't hurt you at all. Bulma kissed Sun Weiyuan on the left cheek. Bulma, you attacked me again. What about the right side? You only kissed the left side, which is asymmetrical. Instead of receiving a sweet kiss from the right, Sun Weiyuan was hit in the chest with his little fist. I want to go too, can I? Tai Sai suddenly asked. Okay, let's go back to Baizai Mountain to find Goku first. The scions are coming, so how can we miss a super scion like him? Jack, maintaining peace on Earth requires elites of the Galactic Patrol like you. When the 3 scions come, you will lead the charge. I think you will definitely not refuse, right? Gok was speechless. If possible, I would definitely refuse. Not to mention Vegeta, I can't beat Nappa either. But if I beat 3 Raditzas, there would be no problem. Mr. Weiyuan, can I only deal with one person? Jack was nervous, and the one he wanted to deal with was naturally Raditz. Can. After hearing what Sun Weiyuan said, Jack felt a lot more at ease. You can pick either Vegeta or Nappa. It would be better if you can deal with both. Chapter 73. Jake was sure that the data's evaluation of Sun Weiyuan was true and reliable. He was obviously one of their own, and the 3 scions from outside were the enemies. Sun Weiyuan even wanted to betray him, so he couldn't afford to offend him. Even his own people wanted to betray him. In the future, he must keep a safe distance from Sun Weiyuan, the distance between 2 stars. Sun Goiwan, Bulma, Taisai and Jack appeared at Baizai, and Goku was taking care of the child. Looking at the way Goku takes care of the child, Sun Goiwan seems more inclined to think that he is playing with the child, throwing the child into the sky for no reason. It is rare that the eldest nephew does not cry, which is really strange. Nephew, uncle is back. Regardless of whether the child could understand or not, Sun Weiyuan shouted first. Ha 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 ha. With the unique baby voice and pure laughter, he jumped into Sun Goiwan's arms in mid-air. Bulma and the others were surprised that Weifan could fly when he was only a few days old. When Jake saw the monkey tail behind Xiao Weifan, he subconsciously took out his gun and aimed. Jacques, he is my nephew, put your gun away, if you hurt him, you will be in trouble. Sun Weiyuan said in a bland tone. Jake's occupational disease came back. Sun Weiyuan felt that Jake had two occupational diseases, one was that he loved to pull out his gun, the other was that he was posing in those flashy poses. When Jake realized what was happening, he was sweating profusely. Hey? When did Jake's face become the same color as Piccolo's? I didn't threaten him. In just a few days, my nephew can actually fly. What a terrifying talent for martial arts. Goku, your genes are so good. When you have time, you and Shishi should have more children. Sun Weiyuan said happily while hugging little Goku. Brother, I want to practice. How can cultivation be as fun as having a child? The two brothers stared at each other for a long while, and Sun Goiwan sensed that Vegeta and the other two had appeared on Earth, so he said, Goku, come with me to meet some people. What about Weifan? Bring it with you. In a livestock area, 3 balls passed through the Earth's atmosphere and crashed into the ground. A middle-aged man took a shotgun and went to check the situation. Vegeta, I didn't expect that Earth, a low-level planet with poor combat power, has such a good environment. The gravity is only 1/10 of that of planet Vegeta. It looks like it can be sold for a good price. Nappa touched his shiny bald head and shouted loudly, scaring the middle-aged man. You, who are you? Why are you in my ranch? The middle-aged man was shaking as he held the shotgun. Vegeta was not tall, so he did not feel very dangerous, but when he saw Nappa and Raditz, who were both tall and strong, he felt very oppressive. I didn't notice there was a little ant next to it. Nappa glanced at it contemptuously and didn't look at it again. He didn't even have the interest to kill it because it was so weak. Raditz checked it with the combat power detector. The combat power is only 5, it's simply garbage. The middle-aged man was so scared that he pulled the trigger and the bullet shot out. Raditz reached out and opened his palm, and there was a bullet on it. Humph, go to hell. At this time, Sun Weiyuan and his group appeared. Sun Weiyuan caught the bullet that Raditz had fired with his fingers. Don't be afraid, uncle. Even a weakling is worth living. Why did you faint? How could you wet your pants when you're so old? Vegeta and the other two were also stunned. Where did these people come from? They appeared in the blink of an eye. Are we seeing things? Vegeta, do you know what's going on? Nappa asked habitually. Vegeta is not only the strongest among them, but also the smartest one. Vegeta said nothing, but used the combat power detector to check Goiwan's combat power. 3 uniform explosions sounded at the same time. What happened? The combat power detector that can detect more than 20,000 suddenly exploded. Did that handsome guy's combat power exceed the detection limit? It's impossible, absolutely impossible. It's impossible for such a powerful person to exist on a low-level planet. Brother, will you take me to see them? Yeah, just look at their butts. Butt? What's so good about a butt? Goku looked for the answer with confusion. Is that a tail? All 3 of them have tails. Oh, they are scion like me. At this time, Raditz's gaze shifted away from Sun Goiwan and saw Son Goku. Regardless of the reason why the detector exploded, it had been used for so many years and it was normal for it to explode due to disrepair. Yes, very much alike. It is not an exaggeration to say that he looks exactly like his father Burdock. So he must be his younger brother Kakarot. Kakarot, you are Kakarot. Although I haven't seen you for many years, I recognized you at first sight. Raditz shouted excitedly. Goku pointed at himself and asked, You, are you talking to me? Kakarot, why are you pretending to be stupid? I am your elder brother Raditz. Why are there still so many people alive on this planet? Raditz said angrily. Kakarot was so disappointing. After so many years, he had not killed all the people on the earth yet. He was even more useless than himself. Nappa and Vegeta also looked at Son Goku after hearing that. Nappa shouted in a loud voice, "He is your brother Kakarot, right? He looks like Lord Burdock, but he is just as useless as you, Raditz. The natives of this planet only have a combat power of 5, and they have not been able to conquer it in all these years. Even if he joins us, he can only be a handyman like you, Raditz." "Goku, do you also have a name called Kakarot?" Bulma asked. Son Goku was also full of questions at this time. "I have another name? I have never heard of it. My brother never told me. And what do they mean by saying that I am weak in combat? Aren't they much weaker than me? Brother, do I have the name Kakarot? If you have any questions that you don't understand, just ask your brother. If he doesn't know either, then don't think too much about it, it's too troublesome." Sun Goiwan pretended to be thoughtful and said, "Goku, Kakarot should be the scion name given to you by your biological father Burdock. The one named Raditz is probably really your brother." Son Goku thought for a moment, "Hey, I don't know what you mean by killing all the people on Earth, but I will never do such a cruel thing. If you kill the people on Earth, I will stop you. Also, I'm not Kakarot, my name is Sun Wukong." "Nanny? Times 3 Kakarot, is your brain broken? How come you even forgot your identity and mission?" "It doesn't matter, I'll tell you again, remember. We are the Scion warriors in the universe. We are responsible for finding planets suitable for human habitation and killing all the indigenous inhabitants on them, and then selling the planets to people from other universes. Your mission on Earth is to kill all the people on Earth, and I am your big brother Raditz." Son Goku clenched his fists. Those Scions were indeed a brutal race just as he had understood before. "Hey, you Raditz, are you looking for a fight? Who are you?" "Goku has only one big brother, and that's me, Sun Goiwan. If you don't agree, we can have a fight. I can make you 2 hands and 3 legs and blow you away in one breath." Sun Weiyuan, who was about to take out the melon seeds and bench, heard that Raditz wanted to take his big brother's position. How could that be possible? There can't be 2 tigers in one mountain, and there can't be 2 big brothers. He didn't want to eat melon seeds anymore and challenged Raditz directly. Chapter 74. At this time, Jake really wanted to say, "Boss, stop it, let me take Raditz. The other 2 Scions are quite fierce, and I probably can't beat them with my small body. Kakarot, come with us, it's fun. You'll love the feeling after killing humans on a few planets." Raditz continued to invite Son Goku to join the team. Sun Weiyuan was a bit amused. "Good man, did this idiot Raditz think I was a weakling? He completely ignored me. I just caught the bullet with my bare hands, but he still didn't notice anything wrong. Not only is his combat power somewhat low, his IQ is also lower than the average level of people on Earth, so let Zack take over and don't bother to bully him. Zack, I see you have performed well along the way, so I will definitely give you a reward." "Reward?" Jake suddenly became excited. "Raditz will reward you with warm-up exercises, beat him." For a moment, Jake felt a little uncomfortable in his heart. As expected, he shouldn't have had any expectations of Sun Weiyuan. He should be thankful that he didn't cheat him. He forced a smile and said, "I should really, thank you. Zack, I've given you the reward. If you can't defeat Raditz in one move, I'll have to punish you. You'll also have to deal with the next 2. Go ahead, young man. I'm counting on you. Come on, Raditz, if you can't even take down this strange-looking little thing, you won't get to eat today." Nappa sneered. "Humph, weaklings like you, no matter how many come, I, Raditz, can kill as many as you want." Raditz obviously also had a temper. It was true that he was the weakest among the 3, but he was not someone who could be defeated by just any Tom, DK, or Harry. Vegeta had already sensed that something was wrong. The guy named Sun Goiwan seemed to know a lot about Scion. Not only had he heard of Scion, but he also knew Burdock. It seemed as if the other party was already prepared for the 3 of them to appear on Earth. It's true that he is confident in his own strength, but that doesn't mean he is a fool who only knows how to fight. If the other party knows the strength of the 3 of you and you, but still doesn't take it seriously, it means that Sun Weiyuan's strength is not inferior to mine, or even much stronger than mine. Then the explosion of the combat power detector just now was not a malfunction, but his combat power really exceeded the detection limit. Raditz walked up to Jack with a swagger, and was about to say some harsh words, but he was punched hard in the abdomen, and then kicked in the head, and fainted on the spot. Jake raised his 2 index fingers to the sky, stood on tiptoe, raised his hips, and struck his coquettish pose again. Raditz really brought shame to us scions. He was killed instantly by a little kid. He didn't even have the strength to fight back. Uncle Nappa had to step in personally to deal with these scum. Nappa, be careful, they are not simple. Vegeta reminded indifferently. Uncle Nappa immediately behaved like a grandson and said respectfully, "Don't worry, Your Highness Vegeta, I know what I am doing and I will kill them all. I am not a loser like Raditz." Raditz fainted and lay on the ground, being bombarded by Nappa's words again. When Jack saw Nappa approaching step by step, he was so nervous that his limbs were shaking slightly. In a battle of strength, he was no match for Nappa. But if this big fool was careless, he still had hope of winning. "Brother, is this really okay? Jack's aura is much weaker than Nappa's. He shouldn't be able to beat Nappa. Don't worry, this kid Jake is very cunning. Although his fighting ability is average, the Galactic Patrol headquarters has equipped the Galactic Patrol members with a lot of good things. It's okay if Nappa handles him seriously, but if you underestimate Jake, you will suffer a great loss." Son Goiwan remembered that the Galactic Patrol had weapons that could knock out Son Goku and Vegeta before they transformed into Super Saiyan Blue, and that they could be knocked out with just one shot. Just as Sun Weiyuan guessed, when Nappa saw Jack take out a gun, he laughed and said, "I've never seen anyone as stupid as you. With my fighting power, can your toy gun still hurt me?" Jack's mouth curled up. "I feel relieved if you do this," he said. "Don't come over here. If you come over again, I will shoot you." Pretending to be terrified, he said, "Ha ha ha, go ahead and shoot. Uncle Nappa promises he won't hide." Nappa smiled evilly and was shot by Jake without dodging. The smile froze on his face and he fainted instantly. "Look, Goku, when you're fighting an enemy from now on, don't use your body to block a move you don't understand. Even if the enemy looks weak, you'll suffer a great loss if you're careless. Zack, you're having so much fun, how about Vegeta give you a reward so you can play too?" After hearing what Sun Weiyuan said, Jack, who was blowing the muzzle of the gun and posing coquettishly, quickly begged for mercy, "Mr. Sun Weiyuan, Vegeta is much stronger than Nappa, and he is also very cruel. If I fight with Vegeta, I will probably be killed by him in one blow. Okay, I won't tease you anymore. Vegeta is definitely not someone you can handle." Vegeta shot an energy ball into the sky. Except for Sun Goiwan, no one else could understand Vegeta's operation. "Goku, cover your nephew's eyes and don't let him look at that energy ball, or else Takeshi will turn into a giant ape." Artificial moon. Sun Weiyuan was a little surprised. Vegeta was so decisive in creating an artificial moon to transform. He was much smarter than Raditz and Nappa. Son Goku immediately covered Tekinori's eyes. Bulma knew something about Saiyan. Taisai was a little confused. She quickly took notes on her laptop while asking, "What is that new glowing sphere in the sky?" "Artificial moon, a special move created by Saiyan in order to transform into a giant ape. In addition, Saiyan Great Ape temporarily increases his strength tenfold." As soon as he finished speaking, a roar of beasts sounded, and Vegeta quickly turned into a 19-meter-tall giant ape. "Son Goiwan, if I'm not mistaken, you should be very strong, stronger than me in my normal state. However, my current strength is 10 times that of my normal state. No matter how strong you are, you can't be stronger than me. Ha ha ha. I can see that you have investigated our Scion's information, but you could never have imagined that I could create an artificial moon." The surging power gave Vegeta great confidence. Sun Weiyuan scratched his ears, "Vegeta, you have a really loud voice. If you can create that thing in the sky, I can certainly destroy it. To be honest, this trick is useless. If you can defeat the enemy, you don't need to do that. If you can't defeat the enemy, you just need to make him stupid. This will give you the opportunity to create an artificial moon and let you complete the transformation, so don't destroy it. Besides, Your Highness Vegeta, the Prince of Saiyan, are you so confident that you can be my opponent after you transform into a giant ape?" Vegeta was too proud, and Goiwan felt that only by crushing him easily when Vegeta was at his strongest could he be made to behave himself. Chapter 75. If he wants to crush Vegeta, he can choose to knock him down with one move, but Sun Goiwan thinks that this won't impress Vegeta enough, so it's better to beat him up. Humph, Sun Goiwan. Since you have investigated us scions, you should know that even Frieza is not much stronger than me with my current strength. Hey, Vegeta, you are so naive, arrogant and ignorant. You've been treated like a dog by Frieza for so many years, but you don't even know the strength of your enemy. Not to mention that your strength increases tenfold, even if it increases 100-fold, you are still no match for Frieza. Tisk tisk tisk, you're so pitiful. Sun Weiyuan put on a sly smile. How strange. Big brother always likes to defeat his enemies cleanly and neatly. What happened today? Son Goku didn't know what his big brother was going to do. He couldn't even muster up interest in such a weak enemy, let alone say so many words. Wow! My Goiwan's smile is so naughty and charming, I like it so much. Bulma looked at him a little bit infatuatedly, while Jake and Taisai beside him were speechless. Only Bulma would like such an annoying smile. Sun Weiyuan's words hurt Vegeta's sensitive nerve, and that nasty smile made him even more furious. Go to hell! The giant ape Vegeta, as big as a mountain, was not as bulky as imagined, but very flexible. The big feet were raised high and stepped towards Sun Weiyuan. He quickly dodged, not because he was afraid of being stepped on, but because he was worried that such big feet would cause severe athlete's foot. The earth shook, rocks flew everywhere, Sun Weiyuan flew into the air, and the giant ape Vegeta followed him into the sky. His huge fists attacked like raindrops, but every punch missed. Vegeta became more and more impatient as the fight went on, and the rhythm of his attacks became increasingly chaotic. With a roar, a huge ki blast shot out from the giant ape's mouth. It's mighty and looks intimidating, but the power is too dispersed to cause any harm to me. Sun Weiyuan pressed the ki blast back into the giant ape Vegeta's mouth. Go back to where it came from. Ki blast exploded in its mouth, and fortunately Great Ape's Vegeta's body was strong enough, so only a puff of black smoke came out of his mouth, and the big mouth was not destroyed. But it wasn't that pleasant either. Sun Weiyuan could even smell the burnt smell of the barbecue. Damn it, if you have the guts, stop hiding. It's okay that I dodged the attack. If I didn't dodge, I would have crippled you with my backhand. Besides, Your Highness, Prince of Sion, you can't blame me if you can't hit me. But since you like the feeling of physical contact, I will mercifully fulfill your wish. Secret technique, I'll punch your chest with my little fist. Sun Weiyuan screamed and hit the giant ape Vegeta's chest with a series of consecutive punches. Vegeta instantly lost his balance, fell from the sky on his back, and as he fell, Goiwan was still hitting him in the chest. The earth shook, and the 19-meter-tall body of the giant ape Vegeta was knocked into the ground bit by bit, but Sun Weiyuan still did not stop. The giant ape's body squeezed out a huge pit, and the pit became bigger and deeper. Vegeta had no power to fight back and couldn't even get up. Of course, this was the result of Sun Weiyuan showing mercy. If he had been more severe, he would have cut open the giant ape Vegeta. At this moment, Vegeta felt that his chest went from the initial excruciating pain to numbness, and now there was no feeling at all, as if his chest no longer belonged to him. Baga Yalu. Sun Weiyuan, if you have the guts, let me get up. What's wrong with asking you to get up? Another series of attacks, and the earth shook rhythmically. Jack was terrified when he saw this. I was worthy of being an elite of the Galactic Patrol. I did not provoke that evil star Sun Weiyuan, otherwise the one lying in the pit might be me. Is the fight not over yet? I saw that guy called Vegeta, and his fighting power wasn't very strong. Bulma was puzzled. With Sun Weiyuan's strength, he should have finished the fight long ago. No matter what others think, Sun Weiyuan felt inexplicably refreshed at this moment. The feeling of punching each other in the flesh was great, and he hadn't felt that for a long time. This is how it felt when I was training little Goku, only now the target has become the giant ape Vegeta. I made you arrogant, made you tsundere, made you come to Earth, made you want to destroy the people on Earth, made you follow Frieza and wreak havoc everywhere. For every word Goiwan said, Vegeta would be beaten for 1 minute. No one knew how long they continued beating each other. Curiously, Jack went to the edge of the pit and looked down. It was pitch black and Goiwan and Vegeta could not be seen at the bottom of the pit. It's a bit dark, and the pit is a bit deep, let's change positions. Sun Weiyuan threw the giant ape Vegeta out of the pit. When he came up, he saw that he was motionless. It was pitch dark in the pit just now. I hope he was accidentally hammered to death. Sun Weiyuan went forward to check. Vegeta's great ape disappeared and he returned to his normal human form. It looks like he's dying, but it's nothing serious. Only 20 of his 24 ribs are broken. If you feed him a senzu bean, he won't die. Instead, it will be a blessing in disguise and increase his combat power. After feeding him a senzu bean, the dying Vegeta's injuries healed, and Sun Weiyuan also felt that his aura had more than doubled. After Vegeta opened his eyes, he looked at Sun Goiwan vigilantly, and then Raditz and Nappa who had fainted also woke up quickly. Sun Weiyuan said with a smile, "You three are all awake, so how are you doing? Are you still going to kill all of us on Earth?" Vegeta was a little angry. "Sun Goiwan, what do you want? If you want to kill us, I, Vegeta, will never sit still and wait for death. Even if I can't beat you, the worst that can happen is that I will blow myself up and destroy this planet. Can I take it that you are threatening me, Your Highness?" "Haha, that's a good idea. Unfortunately, even if you self-destruct, I can still instant transmission to other planets before the Earth explodes. The strength of you three Scions is too weak. UBD, no one can insult our great Scion clan." Nappa has always been reckless. Even though he knew he was no match for Sun Goiwan, he still showed signs of rushing up and fighting desperately. But there was one thing about him, he obeyed Vegeta's orders very well. If Vegeta ordered him to attack Frieza, he would dare to fight. "Nappa, stop right there. I'm definitely no match for him right now. Even Great Ape is no match for him." "Humph, Sun Goiwan, you are indeed very powerful. I even feel that you are stronger than the Universe Emperor Frieza. However, if I can become a Super Saiyan, you will definitely not be my opponent." Even after things came to this point, Vegeta was still so arrogant and stubborn, refusing to admit defeat. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you are notified of future uploads. You can find the next parts in the playlist visible on the screen or on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.